What is up, everybody? So, before we go off into Lostbelt 6, I just thought we should totally do a few more rounds with the dragon, because we never tested, what is it, Burgist, whatever the fuck, anyway, we didn't test her against the dragon, and that's kind of a fun benchmark there, and I want to see how the soft survival does, but we'll do that real quick, and then we'll go jump into Lostbelt 6, and hopefully we actually find a boss worth a damn. You know, Burger Fest, you know. Apparently, if you max level the two knights, they don't even have the name Gwen and Tristan anymore. They just have their normal names. And from what I've read, it's not like Van Gogh at all, actually. They don't seem to have literally anything to do with Gwen or Tristan. They just use their names as kind of like how, what's his name, Antonio goes by Mozart Alter in Lostbelt 1, but they, you know, that's not how that is. I think they just have like the noble phantasms in the era, but they don't seem to have anything in common beyond that. So kind of a different shtick there. Okay, hold up. Let's switch over to my main account and go smack a dragon. And then we'll do Lostbelt 6. Let's get the music here, because I don't have the music turned on this account, so... It kind of sucks though, we can't really benchmark anyone right now because you can't, it's impossible to get the new characters to 10, 10, 10 because there's no free quests. Am I the only one that thinks that's dumb? Like, I don't even from a business standpoint, how are you supposed to get money out of whales that are trying to 10, 10, 10 something on day one? Like, what's the point? Like, literally, what's the point? I do not understand. I'm not even sure they thought about it, right? This whole splitting the story up, you know, time gating it, just kind of seems like nonsense. Seems like a way to, you know, put some filler in there. All right, let's see if anybody's got Burger Fest. There we go. There's a Burger Fest right there. Let's just make sure there's not a better one. Actually, turn my music way the fuck up there. Loud enough for you? Alright, we'll go with the level 81. Okay, so kind of low-balling a bit, but we'll see how it goes. Hex has a better one, does he? Let me see. Oh yeah, he grailed to 90, I think. So I looked into how to pronounce her name anyway, and the pronunciation changes depending on like the era, because like the legend goes back quite a ways. And depending on like which region and era, the pronunciation's a bit different. But it's like Berghest or Burgist or something really weird. I don't know what fucked up name, but what are you gonna do? I'm guessing Hex is not logged in a little bit, so here we'll see. I might go with Beastly's just because Maniac seems to be lost to the void. Why is her breastplate so big? Because she's got to cover her ginormous boobs. That would be why. So I tell you what, so I was messing around with the boss fight with her. I wish we had messed around with it more actually on stream, because it's honestly a better fight than I thought, if for solo anyway. Because although you only have to break one health bar, because she has so much damage resist and she can remove your buffs and all this other nonsense, I actually did a lot of units were not able to break the first health bar. I only had like 3 or 4 units that could do it. One of them was Hercules. I don't know if anyone is surprised by that, but yeah, he could handle it. The best unit I found for it though was Hot Wheels, because not only did Hot Wheels just have an absolutely ridiculous amount of damage, but so if she casts her ability that lets her remove buffs, she only removes one buff at a time. And if she casts the skill, she's down one action, so she can only attack twice at most. And on her NP turn, she must NP, so then she can only attack once. So she's kind of limited in how many buffs she can remove. And if it also removes the buff after damage, so if you have invulnerability or evade, you'll evade or invulnerability at first, then she removes it. So it's not that dangerous, but it is a problem. And Hot Wheels, with his third skill, keeps putting up a bunch of crit buffs. Oh, there we go. But because Hot Wheels puts all those crit buffs up, she'll remove those before she'll remove like your invulnerability or your guts or something really important like that. So Hot Wheels just had this like buffer against her buff removal, and he just, I'm telling you, it's hard to do damage to her. She's tanky as fuck. And Hot Wheels just, you know, he throws out the numbers. So yeah, he did really well. I recorded that too, so I'll throw that up on YouTube later. Yeah, no command codes, but oh well, we'll just go with this for now. We'll test all the new units proper when you can actually make them 10, 10, 10. And then we'll kind of go through the steps to try to make sure we get command codes and all that kind of stuff. Right now, it's kind of just like, you know, early stuff, right? You can't do a full assessment on things. And when they are 10, 10, 10, we'll fight them with, you know, we'll fight Lobo on our ult account, and we'll give them team support, because I like seeing, you know, how they perform in a solo, but I like seeing how they perform in a team and in a budget team. You know, we do all this stuff. You know, that's a good way to evaluate units, so. But I'm gonna wait to do the team stuff until they can actually be 10, 10, 10. Honestly, her gameplay is really cool. It's super unique. I'm just not crazy about the design. It's like, it's just, Berserker Kentoki's the same way, right? Those just really over-the-top body proportions are just not my cup of tea. I always just find that a little, you know, I'm not insulted by it. I'm not like, oh god, how dare this exist or anything, but it's just, I never liked those really extreme body proportions. See, Rider Kentoki is way more reasonable, you see. That's the good one. He's got the better hair. Yeah, her gameplay is definitely interesting. Finally got K-Scope yesterday. Feels good, man. Yeah, no, I was actually thinking about that. That's why kind of I brought it up. Herc is significantly bigger than she is. When I was fighting her with Herc, Herc is so much bigger than her. That is a big boy, dude. However, they kind of compensate with Herc so it doesn't look as whack for two things. One, he's somewhat monstrous. You're not exactly expecting him to look like a normal person because, you know, his skin is like rocks. And he's got like blades coming out of his elbows and all that kind of stuff. But also because he's so tall. That's the thing. It's not necessarily about how big your individual body parts are and everything. It's how they are relative to each other and everything else. And Hercules has the build of a big person and you know, is way taller than normal. So he doesn't look that ridiculous, even though he is way thicker than basically everybody else, right? But his body proportions relative to each other make more sense. That's what it's more about. Kentoki, Berserker Kentoki, and Berghest, or obviously her name. You know, they're very unrealistic proportion-wise, right? And it just looks weird, right? It's kind of strange looking to me, anyway. Okay, let's get this George out of here. Do I kill one of the golems for a tiny bit more NP gain? I'm gonna say no. Got God Juna and K-Scope, nice. Assuming you wanted God Juna. Chin Gong with that hat though. I forgot to put my music on random. Let me fix that. There we go. Nothing I can do of value this turn. A lot of their heights are never right. There's a lot of height issues in FGO. Honestly though, but hey, thank you for the 3-month sub, Cordan64. Somewhere in the ballpark on that one. But Berserker Kentoki's true crime is not his insane body proportions, it's his fucking haircut. Like, damn, dude. That is a crime. Just so tacky. I swear, I don't even get it. You know, he acts like a Chad, and he's all big boy and all, you know, lightning powers, but then he has a haircut of like, like Mandark from Dexter's Laboratory. Like, what are we doing here, right? Like, it's terrible. Raiko should never be a barber. And see, Ryder Kentucky is just better, right? He's got the better haircut and more normal body proportions, right? I'm okay with this. Alright, so I guess we use this right away. Actually, I guess we use everything right away. Oh, how I wish we were 10-10-10. I wonder what her NP would look like if you used it on Tiamat. Gojuna overall, it actually looked a lot better than it did against Limbo, but Gojuna is better than Raiko overall, but there are certain circumstances where Raiko is better, and they're both so good, it doesn't really matter. They both are perfectly serviceable for what an AoE Berserker needs to be for hard content, or for farming, so who gives a shit, right? Well, we definitely see red press red. So this should be a good fight for her, just because this boss is... he doesn't have any burst damage at all, right? He takes a long time to NP, and then his normal card damage isn't particularly powerful because he's an AoE normal attack. So her whole healing for 4,000 every turn thing should do the trick. The issue is, when he NPs the second time, she's going to fucking die. I suspect when we do this with her for real, when she's 10-10-10 and has command codes, what we'll do is give her a gut CE, so she'll block the first NP with the Mystic Code, and then she'll block the second NP with the Guts, and then she can hopefully have her skills back then, and then get her health back and survive until the third NP. And so she'll either have won by then, or had done a lot of damage. So I think when she's leveled up and ready to go, I think she'll have a very good performance here. She has the toolkit to do it, so... like, she has soft survival, and this fight rewards soft survival, so... I'm interested to see how she does against Limbo and that kind of thing. Not Limbo, Lobo. Dude, Hot Wheels is not only fun to use, he is so good. Her boss fight, Berghest's boss fight that I was talking about, I really was not finding a lot of units that could solo it, and Hot Wheels not only soloed it, but he did it a lot smoother than just about everyone else. So, off memory, the people that I found that could solo it, big surprise, guys, Fujino could do it. Did anybody see that one coming? But yeah, Fujino could do it. Hot Wheels could do it. Hercules could do it. And Billy could do it if he got unbelievably lucky. He had to just get all the right crits at all the right times. Was not even remotely reliable. And I think that might have been it. I had a lot of units that got close to doing it, but a lot of them failed. I think Tesla, weirdly enough, even though he's AoE, I think Tesla could do it. Because mine is just level 90, 1k foe, NP1, and I was one turn off multiple times. So I think if I had Tesla more upgraded, like 2k foe level 100, maybe not even, that doesn't even need to be NP2, but especially if at NP2, I think he could definitely do it. Tesla's surprisingly good when it comes to just survival damage ratios, and also she is Earth, and Tesla gets his bonus damage against Earth. If he didn't get that, then I don't think he would have done so good. I think I wait one turn on my second skill. Do I? I'll waste a turn of heal. Yeah, it's fine, because I'm gonna have 2 turns to heal because I'm gonna invulnerability next turn. Guess I just see red, press red. I really wish I liked her design better, because her gameplay really is interesting. It's definitely one of the more interesting toolkits they've made in a while, and what I like about it is it's different and very unique, but it's not overpowered at all. It really isn't. It's almost too balanced. I think they might have gone a little bit like too worried because of the cooldown reduction. I think her skills could probably be a little bit better. I think they overdid it a little bit. No, I never tried Arjuna. That's an interesting one, though, and I should have. I just didn't even think of it, and Arjuna had... I love Arjuna, hadn't logged in a long time, so they didn't pop up any. But I wish I had tried that. That would have been a good one. You have to be really careful with cooldown reduction. It's incredibly powerful and it can like break a lot of things. So I don't think you're gonna see them use it very often. There's a reason why only she has it for like a DPS, and then the only support that has it is Tam, right? It's really not something they use often, and I would say rightfully so. I think she's gonna be able to beat this dragon when she's properly upgraded. I think just give her Gut CE and command codes, and I think she'll be good to go. And 10-10-10 will be a big boost. Because yeah, I think she'll be able to do it. I don't think she's going to be able to do it right now, but I think she is going to be able to beat this. And there haven't been a lot of units at neutral that have beaten this, so that's impressive. The main reason people think Arjuna is bad is because when he was first released, in direct comparison to Gilgamesh and things like that, he was definitely behind. And like, if you have Gilgamesh, then why use Arjuna? That was a big part of it. However, you don't have to be as good as Gilgamesh to still be good. And then also, they have buffed Arjuna so much since his release, and people never really give him a fair shake. I'll say this, Arjuna is not the best 5-star archer in the game. He's not. He really isn't. But he is extremely good, and he has some unique uses that are kind of surprising, and I think people don't really give him a fair shake. But he certainly isn't some, like, you know, meta-defining servant or anything, but he's pretty damn good. Yeah, what's gonna get her here is just the second NP. That's gonna take her out, unfortunately. I'll try to have... Well, no, there's really no way I'm gonna have her damage cut when that comes up, I don't think. The only way I might be able to do that is if we NP a lot. I guess we'll go for it. That's an interesting way to play her, and we'll have to test that. It's not worth trying until she's 10-10-10, because you have to maximize your cooldown reduction, and 10-10-10 means your cooldowns are shorter. But I'd be interesting to set her up where you give her command codes that maximize NP regain, and you just do nothing but get your NP as fast as possible. I'd be interested to see how much cooldown reduction you got doing that, especially using the Atlas Mystic Code, and if you could, you know, make something happen with that. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting testing to do, but we'll have to wait until 10-10-10. And again, it's just impossible to get 10-10-10 right now. Yeah, I guess Arjuna doesn't showcase much either, but that would be a pretty bad reason to... Like, I haven't seen anyone use them, so they must be bad. It's not great logic. And the only way I see us NPing next turn is if we crit with the quick and the art, and that's not gonna happen, so we'll just take our damage. Oh, the free 5-star ticket? I got to see, NA has what, a year to get that? Well, I think we're gonna die here. Unfortunate. I do think she's gonna beat this at 10-10-10 though. The good news is though, because she's removing the boss's buffs constantly, the boss doesn't have any of his NP ups, so he won't hit as hard as he normally would. Okay, well, we're not dead. I'm not sure we can run that one back, though. We'll get a little health this turn, and then next turn, we get our damage cut. Let's see. No, I think we still Ooga Booga here, because we have Buster up. I'm telling you, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes to fights that do reward soft survival. if you have command codes. Because, man, we could have command codes to do heal boost, remove dots, all the, you know, whatever you want, right? There's a lot of options there. Why you gotta crit me right now? We're like on the ropes here, and you gotta fucking crit me right now. God damn it. 96%. Well, we got our other cooldown reduction. I really wish we could NP right here, because we would get our... That sucks. We would get our heal back if we had our NP right now. She would get her heal back if we could NP right now. God damn it. That's my fault too, because I could have done an NP gain combo, I just didn't. So I think she can actually win without a gut CE and without command codes, which is very impressive for a neutral AoE unit. Like, if you look at our dragon list, fuck, barely killed me too. But if you look at our dragon list, hardly anything on there that has won is AoE and class neutral. There's hardly anything on there like that. We'll try that again maybe later in the stream if Maniac comes by, because I want to at least give her command codes. But I think she's gonna like fucking destroy that once she's set up properly. Like, that was really close, and there was user error there blatantly, and she's not maxed out, no command codes, you know, skill ranks aren't maxed, so. All right, back to Lostbelt 6. I think she can do it without being 10-10-10 though. Oh, hi Gareth. Alright, let's see. What do we want to do here? I'm guessing, do they have to be in the front row? They do not. And we can even use Qingong if we want to, although there's a few too many of them to deal with, but let's see. Get some Babbage action. I need to Grail Babbage to 100. I'm really thinking about doing that. I wish Shakespeare was in this Singularity. That would be a big boon. Just cause. Alright, what could go wrong? Yeah, maybe he does show up later. It could happen. I think it'd be pretty fitting if he was here, honestly. I wasn't really expecting Berserkers on the first wave, I was expecting Assassins. It's not just because of the fairy stuff, it's just British folklore and England and everything, right? It just makes a lot of sense. And yeah, you got Oberon in this a lot, so I think it's pretty reasonable. This mad Shakespeare damage, though. Also, where's my Shakespeare animation update? Look at these caster balls. So I had somebody that was like, wait, have they gotten rid of all the caster ball animations? Because, you know, caster coup animation update. I'm like, no, not at all. We still got Mozart, Shakespeare, Mata Hari. Let's see, I guess nursery rhyme, only in book form though. There was a couple other ones too that I think I forgot. Yeah, Mata Hari, that was a pretty obvious one. Oh yeah, Gilius, Saber Gilius. That's one. Bad Bitch doesn't have caster balls. What are Onis doing in Britain? That's a good question. They're probably just standing in for like gremlins or whatever the fuck. Because like that's the whole thing is the reverse side of the world's not really a thing anymore. And all the typical fantasy creatures from the Age of Magic and stuff are just running around willy-nilly. So this right here is my favorite Pinth combo in terms of animation, but there's no reason to do it. Like, the only time you would do this is for NP gain if you didn't have access to any other cards. But it goes through all of her animations, because that's her quick animation right there at the beginning of her extra. Much bonk. Okay, now that would be the assassins. He's got it. %80 crit for the NP gain. Let's go. The issue Shakespeare's gonna have here is he doesn't have a CE that boosts his damage at all. Fuck. Well, he stunned him. How about that? Did Babbage's NP gain here? Naruto running him, dude. Yeah, his stun chance is actually pretty high when you've got demonic. Oh, hi, Tamcat. I can't even imagine what the point of that is. Like, in terms of story, I mean, like what the fuck? Wait, I guess I should have Pinth NP first. Because Pinth is going to die soon. Like, let's be honest. Yeah, Tam is in this Lostbelt. She'll probably be more relevant in part 2, I suspect. Yikes. Man, you know what sucks is if I could have, if like Pinth had her cooldown in one more turn, she'd have been debuff immune. That kind of sucks. I got kind of a real boss fight here. Kind of annoying, get all those trash mobs first though. Can't have as much fun with it on the other characters. I can't remember, is she a beast? Let's see. She is a beast. Well, how about that? Too bad I didn't give Protoku starting NP. Kind of a big dumb on that one. Looks like she got defense up or damage cut, though. It looks like it's got something weird going on with this thing here, but yeah, this is damage cut or defense up. Might be unnecessary. I just really want to break here. Oh, she NP drained Babbage. God damn it, I didn't notice that until now. When you broke her health bar, she NP drained. Well, shit. I guess I do this then for the crit buff. Man, then I shouldn't have done the Star Bomb! Oh, the misplays. What is paying attention? Holy shit, that is a giant ass damage cutter defense up. What the fuck? Okay, this might actually be a real boss fight, because that's a problem. That's a problem. That's damage cut. Oh yeah, that's damage cut. Okay. We're gonna have to bring an actual team. I don't believe it. It's a real boss, Chad. How about that? All right. We'll keep fighting just so we can see if we can collect some extra information about, you know, how this works. I'm okay with this though. We haven't had a boss fight for the entirety of this fucking story, so I'll take it. Jesus though, that damage cut. That's definitely damage cut. I think she's like draining something every turn and that's what's giving her the damage cut. Let's see. A bit of a problem. She's draining NP a lot. We're gonna need to set up like really big crit damage for this, I think. Oh, she just lost it all. That's kind of disappointing. I would have liked to have tried to find a setup where you have to, before she ramps up, get a big crit in, and then, because now that way you could just kind of wait it out, right? You could just stall. I wonder, even though we have the scuffed ass team, I wonder if Protoku can still clean up here. She's stunned for 2 turns. Why didn't you do your strengthening quest, you idiot? And she was tired, man. Gotta take a nap. I like how she wakes up, does gimmick, goes back to sleep. I should have done my debuff resistance, by the way. Okay, not as much of a boss as I would have liked. I thought it was going to be a real boss, but because they got rid of the damage cut themselves, it wasn't that much of a boss. Better than nothing. I had to try a little bit, but that would have been really good if she didn't lose the damage cut until you broke the health bar, right? But it was just timed, so not quite as good. And then as soon as she NPs, she kind of just wrecks herself. Oh. Oh, I know. Alright, let's see if she's in the story at all. Maybe there'll be a 6.5 event. Oh god. Maybe there'll be a 6.5 event story, like how they did 4.5 and 5.5 and all that. And maybe it'll be prototype based, and then we'll probably get Protoku animation update then. Is there no explanation to why Tamcat was here? It's not even in the cutscene here. They gave her guts at the end, so they're wanting to imply that she's not dead. But it's probably just a side thing. Remember Ibaraki in 5.5? That was a whole lot of nothing. What is going on with this guy, though? Like, that is a face. Dude's having a moment. He looks like he's from Bloodborne, honestly. Dude's been drinking Red Bull. Yeah, he looks kind of cool. A little crazed there. Look how long his like hand is. Damn, dude. You mad? Berserker again. I wonder if it's Tamcat again or if it's just a coincidence. They really like doing this whole forced unit thing. Can they meet in the back row? Oh, thank God. Alright, we'll take this a little bit more seriously in case this is a real fight. It could be like cast your trash mobs and then Berserker boss again. Like, that could totally be a thing. If it is Tamcat, then Casterku could actually... Casterku? Protoku could actually shine. Might try that. What's a setup that makes sense, but is also reasonable? I'm guessing there's gonna be more than one caster. I don't mind Babbage. It's alright. Can you use regular? Wow, you can use. Holy shit, we're allowed to use regular mash. Get that fucking costume out of here. Also, get that VR out of here. There's so many mashes. There's so many. If the army. I think my ult account is actually missing some of them. I don't think I got like every costume that was available to her. I don't think I did like some of this. I didn't get some of the summer ones. Yeah, I think she's missing both summer ones actually. My main account has them though. Mash doesn't really work very well with Proto-Coup. Like the defense up with protection from arrows is bad, but she's got the battery, which I kind of like. I want to just give like some basic support to Babbage, but not use Waver because that's stupid. There's always Shakespeare. Yeah, we'll do Shakespeare. Or Qin Gong. There we go, Qin Gong. I like that. For some reason, I forgot he existed at level 65. I can even cycle if I want to. I need to use Saber Deer mid more. He's freaking awesome. Any chance Tamcat is evil? Nope. Didn't think so. He's gonna get grailed to 90 soon, I think. Why can't Proto-Coup have an upgraded NP like regular Coup? It's been a really long time, game. Yeah, there's several anti-good servants, actually. But Salome is lawful good bonus damage, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I wish we had regular Lancer Vlad, but probably never gonna happen. Okay, I guess it's the other way around now. Now it's Berserkers first. You're killing me, game. I'm gonna wait to PFA until my damage cut and stuff is gone, or on the turn that we switch screens. Because that basically gives you a free turn off the cooldown. Kind of hard to explain that thought process, but it is what it is. I'm throwing out my anti-beast damage now because it'll probably come back by the time I need it. But helps me kill these a little bit smoother, then why not? Damn it! I hate leaving that one alive, but too awkward. Babbage, please. Thank you. If they didn't kill that, I'd have been annoyed. Thought about going with the 60%, but more reliable this way. Just crit anyways. Okay. Because he's an inventor, is why he's a caster. A lot of people that make machines and use their brains that way and construct things and make golems, make gadgets and things like that. They normally end up being casters. And Babbage makes his suit and his robots and all of his steam inventions and the computer and all that stuff, so that's why. Why did I bring Babbage? They're casters, not assassins. I should have brought a writer. What am I doing here? Not really thinking clearly here, champ. Well, we'll make do, I suppose. Certainly got a good hand for it. You know, I'll take that though. For neutral damage there, that's pretty good. Wow, he's gonna kill them both anyway. He's like, what did you say about caster? Doesn't even have command codes, by the way. That's just vanilla. Bonk bonk. Oh, Tamcat again. That's a lot of health bars. HP down. That's pretty shit. That's a big ass HP down. We're down to 7k. Excuse me. Let's see. One turn on my anti-beast damage. That's unfortunate. I guess I'll do this just because it could be debuffs. Real shame I don't have my anti-beast damage right now. Enough damage though, that's good. So it'll come back when I need it then, essentially. Maybe I should have taunted Babbage here, in case she does something crazy. Hey look, he guarded it, because he's got the big debuff for his- oh shit. David would have been nice. Meow, by the way. So we had an evade from our Mystic Code, but there was no way to know that we needed it, because, quick charge gimmicks. Look at this green casual using Caster Artoria, by the way. Not that they give you a choice. Give him the art up, but the invulnerability would go to waste, because she is stunned. Doing it anyways. Look at all these buttons. By the way, a big part of why Caster Artoria is so OP is because of like the art looping with an art NP, and we don't have a single art NP on this team. So we're really taking advantage of that. Protoku didn't guard that one, but David did, with just vanilla magic resist. Wow, this looks like an actual boss, but it really isn't, because she stuns herself. I mean, it's like she's just sitting around. What are we doing here? Like, sure, the HP down is an oof, but the boss got one. Hey, Maniac. If you have the chance, Maniac, if you don't have time, don't worry about it. But if you have time, could you slap a Gut CE on Burgess or whatever? And give her some basic command codes, maybe anti-dragon command codes. But yeah, if you've got time, if you could set that up, that'd be great. But if you don't have time, don't worry about it. We can do it anytime. I hope work goes well. Yeah, if you just survive, she'll kill herself, essentially, so... I was hopeful that was going to be a real boss fight, but the real boss fight is the trash mobs leading up to her. Like, if you were going to solo that, just losing the value from the trash mobs is what would make it a bit tricky. I like how you keep fighting her, but she's not in the cutscenes. By the way, I read, like, a lot of translations for, like, the story and stuff, and it's fucking terrible. Like, am I the only one? How could it, like, it's so bad. Like, here's the story with Muramasa. the alien god tells him to kill Morgan, so he just goes to Lostbelt 6 and just barges into her castle and says he's here to kill the queen, which obviously doesn't work. And then he fights the 3 knights at the same time, you know, Berghest, Sith, and whatever the Lancelot one is. And so it's 3v1, and he takes out 2 of them, and then he loses though, and then he gets captured. And then instead of them killing him or anything, they just, you know, they give him to the slave house to auction him off. But that, why would you do that? That doesn't make, he's a fucking servant. He's so powerful that he just kicked Berghest's ass and Sith's ass, you know, fucking 3v1, and he beats the shit out of 2 of them. And you're like, oh yeah, no, we should keep this guy alive and try to sell him. Because we need money, right? Like, what? No one would do that. Right, I mean, to be fair, Morgan did have the brilliant strategy of having the Green Knight go to Arthur's court and behead himself to try to kill Guinevere with shock. That's a canonical story, by the way. So I don't know, maybe her judgment is impaired, but I'm just saying, the fact that it's a contrivance. It's a contrivance to get Muramasa on your side, right? That's all it is. It doesn't actually make sense. That's not logical. That's not how the characters would act, right? That's stupid. Right, literally the guy is so powerful, he took out 2 of the knights, and you're like, oh yeah, no, we don't need to kill this guy or anything. No, it's fine, right? And it's just a stupid reason to get him on your side. Although I doubt he's going to be on your side forever, because like our objective is to kill Morgan right now, I'm pretty sure, and his objective right now is to kill Morgan. So, you know, it's not that where he's not going against the alien god by working with us. So I think in the long run, he's still on the alien god side. So. But that whole plot point is just stupid. Like, it's just dumb. And yeah, like, when you're in that village at the beginning, they're acting nice to you because they're wanting to eat you. Because they're all, like, mystical creatures and you're a human and they want to eat humans for some reason. And then, like, that fairy tries to help you, and then with no explanation, she turns into the blob monster. They don't even explain it. And then, Oberyn fixes your memory problem, and that's why you stop seeing Castor Artoria's MASH. But apparently you forget about the fairy or something. But yeah, I've been reading through the story. It's just not that good. It's very silly, just at the drop of a hat. It tries to be like serious overall, but then it's so silly so often it just doesn't work. Like, it really doesn't work for me. Oberyn is kind of a bro though. And they build up like Tristan so much at the start, and then he just dies. And the reason Tristan is here and the other knights aren't is because you start in Cromwell, and Tristan is born in Cromwell. Which, that's kind of a loose reason, but you know. Yeah, so far it has absolutely felt like a glorified event story. That is exactly how it feels to me. The pacing and the tone of it, and just like how silly it gets, and like just the excuses for stuff that happens, it just completely feels like an event right now. I'm hoping it'll get more serious as time goes on, but I just don't like the premise and everything. It's pretty silly. Also, the divergence did not happen in 2017. It became pruned in 2017, as far as I can tell. Now, you know, there's a lot of mistranslations sometimes, and everything's kind of up in the air for a bit. But from what I understand, this timeline has been a branching timeline for a while. Like, basically in this timeline, Artoria never became king. Morgan has been king this entire time. But that's not necessarily enough for something to get pruned, right? You know, you can have a branch going to the left side of the tree and a branch going to the right side of the tree, right? Things that get pruned is when it goes, you know, way the fuck, you know, it gets yeet, you know, way out there. And whatever happened to make this timeline be so messed up, to, like, you know, stagnate human development and all this other nonsense, it happened in 2017. So for like a long time it wasn't pruned. So that's what I understand anyway. And there's been some nonsense with the whole, you know, reverse side of the world, magic creatures sticking around and all that stuff. The thing is, people keep throwing around this 30% of the story thing like a defense. That's not a defense. That doesn't mean anything. If 30% of a story is trash, that doesn't give me any reason to believe in the other 70%. Also, if it's truly 30%, which I have my doubts that it's actually just 30%, but even if it is 30%, I think it's 30% of the writing, not 30% of the story, right? Like, I bet you that's going to be roughly 20 some odd chapters, and we have 9 chapters now, so, but we'll see. But length just means nothing to me, right? Something can be short and sweet or long and painful, right? It doesn't... Length doesn't mean a damn thing. And that's not good storytelling. That pacing is important, right? If you're gonna have a big epic story, you don't want the first 30% of it to be trash. There's no reason for that, right? You know, Lostbelt 5 was a fairly long story, but it was a pretty good ride the entire time. I hate question mark stages because you have just no idea what to bring. I like to set up my audience by putting them to sleep, exactly. Don't you fucking hit red hair. I will fucking murder you. You can hit the other ones though, that's fine. You can hit them again. I just saw like the Wraith sprite. Yay, question mark, and you have to summon a story support, at least to give you options here. We'll go red hair, because, you know, why not? What to bring? Well, if it's question mark, I feel like Berserker is a good option. It's like, it's not very likely it's a foreigner, like, let's be real. Do the old Penth Jerker combo, that's a fun team. Looks like we were underwater anyway, so, you know, clearly it's time for swimsuits, right? Okay, scope. Whale! I almost want to bring Atlas just in case there's debuffs, but we'll do... Wow, she's not 10-10-10 on this account. I bet you I have the mats to do it, I just haven't bothered. Because she is so easy to 10-10-10. But ult account, so I probably just didn't even care to do it. That is Gorgon? What? 2 waves, and this is Gorgon with 400,000 health. I do not understand. What's her name here? Because that certainly doesn't say Gorgon up there. Did somebody get Sebastian? Do I buff here or do I wait? There's a water character in there. Well, we are underwater. Ursula. Draka water? I don't even... She's standing in for some mystical creature or something. He does plenty of damage though, and just cursed everybody. That's kind of annoying. Because that'll proc Leonidas's guts. Which is not ideal. This is weird. Well, this could be better. At least Pint's immune to debuffs. Decker and the schnoz. Guys, you don't have to translate. It's actually Achilles. That's just a weird way to spell Achilles. Y'all crazy. Knew it. What? What? What was the trigger for that? Was it like 50% health? Like, she doesn't even have a break bar. Please tell me that's not the health boost on King Potato Chips. And I get crit, buster, crit immediately. And another buster. Jesus. The damage, though. I could NP and kill her right now, but that might be kind of wasteful. This is very strange. Big Achilles, yep. Truly do not understand why she turned into King Protea of all things. And she's ramping with like an attack up, flat damage up is what it looks like. Okay, well Pint gets her NP again, which is nice. Is it like a shape-shifting creature or something? And that's a Grail from APOC? What? And it drained my NP and drained my stars, and I literally could have double NP'd there, so I can't say I'm particularly happy about that. And also HP down. Those are some nasty debuffs. God damn it, game. Well, at least we know it's a saber, so in case we fail, you just bring an archer in the back. It's AoE, you fucking piece of shit. I would have put guts on Pint. Damn it. And of course I brought the only class that's bad here. I brought the only fucking class that's bad here in the entire game. Like, of course. I'm just restarting now. Question mark stages, man. By the way, it's over 100 degrees where I live. It's not the best experience I've ever had. So literally nothing you can summon here is even remotely applicable to what you are doing. Just like to throw that out there. Alright, we can make roughly the same teamwork though. We don't really need to change all that much. Not a whole lot of reason to do the taunt wall thing, but could do Shakespeare to just escalate, try to be more aggro. Gas, gas, gas. It's either that or Chin Gong. Let me think. Now we'll keep Mash. I'm gonna BRB real quick because it's so fucking hot here. I'm gonna like set up another fan and I'm gonna turn that on and I'm gonna get some water and so on and so forth. I'll be back in just a moment. Gotta get some airflow, you know. I have a concern. When we were talking about Oberyn yesterday, people were saying there was like that dwarf. There was an outline of a dwarf that was going to be in Lostbelt 6, right? And like the silhouette. And I was like, hey, maybe we'll get a playable dwarf, maybe even as a low star for part 2. That would be awesome, and it would be. However, if you look at the other silhouettes, you know, one of them is clearly that like elf fuck in like Morgan's court, who is in no way going to be playable, right? And that makes me think that all of those people are just going to be, you know, supporting NPCs. Now, to be fair, supporting NPCs like that, some of them do get cherry-picked and do become playable. Like Chen Gong. Chen Gong is just like a non, you know, player character in Lostbelt 3, and quite a while later, he became playable, right? So it is possible that if some of those become popular, they will be playable later. And the thing is, I think out of those, that lineup, the one that might be playable way down the line, but not playable soon, is Oberyn. That I see as being very likely. I don't think Oberyn is going to be playable soon, but I do think he's going to be playable eventually, like Chen Gong. But the rest of that lineup, not so likely. Unless that dwarf ends up being some huge fan favorite, I don't think it's happening. So Oberyn 2-star? Could be. Could be. Doesn't have to be, though. Doesn't have to be a bronze. Probably just depends on when he gets added and why and what he's relative to. You know, that kind of thing. Well, might as well use the anti-debuff right away. I almost want to use Jalter's battery right away, because in the long term you're going to need a lot of battery here, because you're going to get drained. So if I could battery twice to kind of offset that, it's not a bad turn to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Why does she only have one sock? I'm gonna do all my buffs, actually. I'm hoping Percival is the big boy. From what I understand, they actually said in advance that Gareth existed in this Lostbelt. Most of the knights don't, but Gareth does. Most of Morgan's regular children exist. Mordred is not a regular child, though. I don't think I need to explain why. And so Percival, I'm pretty sure they've said exists too. So a big boy could definitely be Percival. That is a good point. If you're wearing a bikini, and for God's sake, she was part of a summer event, so one might actually have use of a swimsuit. Why would you have a sock thing anyway, right? That is a good point. Yeah, no Mordred here, at least as of now. Guess we do that. I wish the antagonists were actually more active in this story, but maybe later. Okay, that was a much better turn than last time, and we even got 200%. So Pence art card is in the last hand. Leonidas could potentially NP again next turn. You know what? Let's go for that. That could be good. Yeah, I'm sure Mordred would be totally okay with... fuck. But anyway, I'm sure Mordred would be okay with punching, Morgan in the face. Oh my god, that shuffled the deck. Now Pence buffs are gonna wear off. Do I give Pence the battery so she can just NP with the buffs? I think we're going to do that. That kinda sucks, but, oh well. I want to use Mash's art cards, but at the same time, doing a Pence Brave Chain is more damage and more NP gain for the next NP. She might not ever get a next NP, though. Damage good. Takes a lot of effort to kill Achilles, you know. I just wish we didn't. I don't even mind them time gating the story. I just don't like how much they're time gating it. If you time gated it like, you know, 10 chapters a week, you know, that's alright. That gives people some time, some breathing room. Makes making videos easier for me, so, you know, that's not bad. And, you know, that kind of pace out the hype and keep, because what can happen when they don't time gate it is, you know, you have those people that go through the entire story in like 3 hours and skip everything but find every new thing in it and every plausible new character that's coming up and every NP animation and it all gets dropped at once and a lot of it gets lost in the chaos, right? So spacing it out isn't necessarily bad for the game in the internet age, but you don't need to wait a month. Like, holy shit, you know, wait a few days or a week, right? That's reasonable. I think if they did like 10 chapters a week and you have like 2 breaks, you know, that's okay, and because that's not that long of a wait, lets people take their time, have fun, you know, spreads the hype out, that's okay. And for those that want to just get in there and see it for themselves, even if they're, you know, they have the time to do it all at once, they're not going to have to wait that long, and so they're not going to be, you know, too pissed. So I think that's all right, oh yeah, Salem was time gated, wasn't it? But it wasn't very much. It was only like a few days or something. But yeah, 1 to 2 weeks I think is okay. A month is too much though. Like a month, and it's actually a little bit over a month. What's the play here? I kind of want to taunt, even though we'd waste our NP gain, but I feel like it's so easy for her to kill Pent here. Imagine having a big NP gain buff, but you don't have a quick or an art card. Nice crit, though. I'm hoping I get her art card, because I want to get some extra NP gain for the drain that's coming up. Really weird to see her, like, song attack. I don't even, but no sound. Doesn't quite work. Did she do something to elongate our cooldowns? Why is this on a 2-turn cooldown? Alright, well, we can do... Will this do 36k? I don't know about that. Let's do this. Oh, fuck me. Shit. Of course you hit Pent. Of course you hit Pent again. Of course you hit Pent again. What are you doing? You never buffed and triple attacked Pent. And fucking Jerker's over there with an evade skill, so she'd have been fine. Like if she triple attacked Jerker, it would not have been a problem. The only good thing about, literally clapped by the way, but the only good thing about that is I get my cooldowns back. You know, that's kind of nice. Not worth it, but well, shit. David almost failed me there. Man, she was going to get her skills back and it was going to be great. There goes her health. I can NP right now. But, we have no other cards, and if I wait 1 turn, we get her attack up back. How likely is she to die here? So 1 attack the evade will eat, so she could potentially be attacked twice because it's AoE. If it crits, she would die. I could give her guts because I don't think I need it anywhere else. Might be overkill, but I think that's fine. I wish Mash had her first skill. Poseidon out of nowhere. No, this is the Grail. Totally different. That didn't do shit damage. It did 19. What? So our guts was completely wasted, but I wanted to be saved. Unlikely we'll get a crit here, but you never know. We're 214 for having pretty minimal buffs from her teammates. It's not bad. And if she had landed that fucking crit, that would have been really good. I'm confused about this thing's damage. Bad things are abound, though. Gonna need David to get his NP at some point here. If Pimp hadn't died, it'd have been looking really good. Why does it randomly just do terrible damage like that? I guess because of the damage cut. Okay, I think David's got this, though. You know, her burn is mostly flavor, but it does add up. It NP drained again. This thing. It's the hero. He doesn't have his NP here? He's a story support and he doesn't have his NP here. There must be a lore reason for that. Like, the game is acting like you summoned a non-friend support. But it's a story support. Alright, we got him. What a weird stage. Oh yeah, and so something to defend Tristan's honor, and they actually did this just to be logical, I suspect, but so a thing in this Lostbelt is, like, because of like the circumstances, that the way the world has been for all these years, servants aren't like needed, and I'm not even sure they can normally be summoned under like regular circumstances. And because of that, though, servants are weaker in this Lostbelt. However, Mash is not affected because she's the main character. I mean, because she's a demi-servant. And Da Vinci's not affected because she's a homunculus, like, clone of, like, the original Da Vinci, right, with, like, the memories put in or whatever. But so Tristan is actually weaker in this Lostbelt than he normally is. And the Fairy Knights, you know, Berghest, which Tristan fights, she's not a servant here. Like, she's alive and an actual thing. So she's not being affected by that. So that's a part of why he loses. But that's kind of their way of explaining why. Because Tristan is said to be ridiculously powerful. He's one of the scarier knights of the round. And it's kind of their way of justifying him just getting taken out of the story like that, I guess. Yeah, that's like that's an ongoing thing, though, in this story, is servants are weaker because they're not like even supposed to be here. So I guess this is what we were fighting. It's some like shape-shifty Morphe bullshit, I guess. Probably some underwater folklore thing. So they're human, so it's time to shine. They're probably fairy, I would imagine. But that's why Berghest wasn't taking bonus damage from Gilgamesh and stuff, because she's not a servant here. But normally she is a servant. She normally does. She does have weak to Enema Leash normally. She just doesn't in the story. Yeah, it really is true. He should get like a bonus because he's in Cromwell, but they didn't even think about that, I'm sure. They often don't think about stuff like that. But I'd imagine, like, they might just say because of the servants not being, like, needed here, that servants aren't getting, like, their bonuses and stuff like they normally would. Which I guess is reasonable, but I doubt they even thought about it, to be honest. Murmas is probably weakened here, and that would explain why when you fight him, you know, he doesn't even have a break bar and stuff. But I don't know. I haven't read every bit of the translation and stuff. If he's not, it's probably because he's an alter ego, and the alter egos are connected to the alien god. And the alien god is, you know, a lot of hacks, bullshit, nonsense. So if he's not weakened, I'm sure they would say that's why. However, I don't know. He may well be weakened here. If so, him beating the shit out of 2 of the knights is quite impressive then. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm actually feeling worse today, and it's mainly because I streamed so much yesterday. I kind of fell behind on like staying on top of my symptoms and everything. So that's why I streamed a bit later today. I spent all of today trying to catch up on that. But I feel okay now. Like just starting now, I've been starting to feel a bit better. And when I took a break there, I did some stuff to help with my sinus issues and stuff. So hopefully I'm alright. But I won't stream as much today. Like I'll make sure I don't do that. But there's not that much story left anyway. I'm pretty sure. Berserker again. Any assassin? Oh, there we go. I was like, anything that's going to catch my eye, and there's the one. If only this account had a Grailed Kojiro. Oh, here we go. Now I would, if I had Serenity on this account, I would use Serenity here, and we'd do the Skull Gang, and it'd be great. But I definitely did not level Serenity on this account, so. Also, Serenity needs an animation update, but what are you going to do? What goes good here? Well... there's always Fuma, if we don't want to use a support. Wait, does this account have a decent Fuma? Not really, no. Because I haven't beat Shimosa, because I keep the Sitting Master fight around. So I was doing some stuff with my Masashi, and she was performing so well it was disgusting and just huge damage and just LOL OP. And then I remembered that this account hasn't beat Shimosa, so she doesn't have her NP upgrade. So I was getting all these giant numbers and like trivializing stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, and I don't even have her NP buff. Because, you know, she needed that, right? What if it's the Berserkers first? Boy, that would be kind of annoying. I'd like something that would help 100 phase loop. There's always this, but the enemies are riders. Tricky. And we'll just do mash. Okay, that's pretty decent. Let's go Star Bomb starting NP so he can show up an NP right away if we want him to. And he can maybe gets 100 face like an art crit or whatever. Where is my golden carp? There it is. The famous MASH CE of 2030. There we go, that's the one. In case of debuffs. I will say though, I feel better today though in terms of sleep, because I slept kind of okay last night, so that was good. I was kind of borderline sleep deprived yesterday, so I definitely feel better today in that department. What? Triple Shadow Blackbeard. Can somebody tell me the names here? Like what? It actually wasn't that hot here last night. It's hot here today though. But I have a decent AC, right? I got decent air conditioning, and I got fans. And dude, I don't even know why. It's funny, you know, when you see a lot of like advertisements on like a box for something, it's a lot of bullshit, right? So this fan, I remember the box the fan came in was all like, you know, extra cooling or better airflow. You know, it's you know, drivel, right? But I tell you, this fan, I don't know how they designed this thing. It really is significantly better than all the other fans that I have or have ever had. Like, it really... It does a damn good job with airflow and stuff. It's quite nice. So, I don't know what voodoo magic they got going on over there, but... you know, actually as advertised. Grailed fan. Yeah, exactly. Alright, 65k across the board. Boy, AoE would have been good here, but... oh, well. Their NP is probably their extra attack, so basically a single target. Huh. That's an odd name. I'm guessing, again, they're representing some folklore nonsense. That would be my guess here. Triple quick. Well, we'll have stars next turn. Kind of nice because we got his star gen up skill going, and he actually has a 3 hit count quick, so you actually make a few extra stars. He's one of the only day 1 low stars for the triple quick deck that actually got more than a 2 hit count. And I guess they just wanted to represent Fate Stay Night, you know. Pretty good damage on First arm last turn there. Ooh. Buster crit at neutral there. Tempted to grab that art on Curse Armed so he gets his NP going into the next part, but maximum looping. I would love a serious Blackbeard. I would be so down for that. And imagine if it was a 3-star, because then everybody gets it, but they'd probably make it a 4-star. It could happen, maybe in 3.0. Because 3.0 is going to give them a lot of opportunities to, like, really mix up where you go and what's going to be thematic there and stuff. And although not like we're getting a lot of stuff that's thematic here. Because we're not even getting a lot of cool British folklore stuff. We're really not, right? We're getting British folklore that's an excuse to gender bend the knights, right? Like, we're not really getting stuff that's really based on the stuff. And then all these other folklore things are just being represented by shadow servants, so... a lot of missed opportunities here, I think. Kind of a weird card that I picked there, but NP gain good. Why does that one randomly have guts? Did it cast it? I wasn't paying attention. It must have cast it, because that's his 1 HP. That doesn't hurt me too much, though. I get my NP that way. He cast it? Yeah, that makes sense. Necromancy CE. Oh, that's... oh, wait, no, it's 3 waves. I was about to say, if that's it, I'm a little disappointed here. But there's more. I could NP with art up, but I don't really need it. And I'd have to use Mash's skill, which I don't really want to do. Weird combo, because I just want to make sure if he does... just failed a 90% crit. Anyway, I just want to make sure 100 face gets her NP in case we kill him with the Curse Arm NP here. Which we did not. Are you kidding me? If either of those had crit, he would have died. Look at all this damage we're taking. Bro, we had a 90% crit and a 70% crit. If either of them had crit, or we had high rolled on the NP, that thing would have died. But of course not. Oh, fucking course not. That would involve us getting nice things, and we can't have that now. Mash, don't you crit with that 20%. Lost my damn mind. Well, at least we got Elden Ring Finn from the previous game show, so I was happy about that. That is Tamcat again. How about that? Okay, side story much. Probably, this whole bit probably wouldn't be in an anime, I'm just saying. If Mash could live like one turn, that would be great. I'd like to give her battery to 100 face next turn, but I feel like that's not the most likely thing to happen, and we're marked with something. I guess I'll play it safe. Wasting the evade on 100 face though. How has Lostbelt 6 been so far? Pretty shit, to be honest, although today it's been a bit more fun. This last chunk has been a bit more interesting. Nothing phenomenal. It pales in comparison to Lostbelt 5.2, and honestly it pales in comparison to Lostbelt 5.5, and that's saying something. And I really haven't cared for the setting and the story very much, but that's subjective. But it's getting better. And so I hope the second part, I suspect the second part will have some real boss fights that we can sink our teeth into, but we have to wait another fucking month, and that's kind of lame. This is better than 5.1. No, this is worse than 5.1 even, so far. Now, to be fair, 5.1 got to be a complete story, so I get to be like, yeah, okay, the main fight with Cerberus, you know, the fight with Canis, the fight with Poseidon, you know, and some of the mini bosses here and there. You know, I'm thinking about all that stuff. But there's not as much story. There's only 9 chapters available right now for this one. So once we get more chapters, I suspect this will be better than 5.1. Because 5.1's a pretty low bar. It really, 5.1 is not that great. You know, it's kind of just average, you know, stuff. You know, it wasn't anything exciting. I could cooldown reduction on Mash to get her first skill out. I don't know how useful that would really be. It's okay. NP game though. I mean, I really do, as bad as the first chunk of Lostbelt 6 has been, I really do think the second part is going to be better. This could just be pure copium and it might just be more bullshit, but I do expect it to be better. I think they intentionally kind of have the kid gloves on right now. And I think that's a mistake, and I don't like that they're doing it that way. And also, we are failing so many high percent crits, like just so many. And then you just bonk. Fuck. Yep. Just only has 2 actions per turn, by the way. I think I want to save my NP, because I kind of expect her to come back with a lot of health. She might even NP or something crazy. DPS Hans. Thumbelina with the damage. You know, I don't normally think about the first 9 chapters of their Lostbelt, so I'd have to look. Now, I know for a fact, just because every chapter in Lostbelt 5.2 is good, the first 9 chapters of Lostbelt 5.2 are way better than this. You had the Talos fight and the Twins fight, like there's plenty of good, there's no bad stages in Lostbelt 5.2, there's not. So easily the first 9 chapters of, yeah, hey look, she gutsed and NP'd, I had a feeling that was gonna be the case. So I just wasted Hans' 3rd skill because I didn't use it. So that kind of sucks. Got kind of wrecked there, to be honest. But I bet you like the first 9 chapters of Lostbelt, you know, 1 aren't that great, right? I don't remember anything that awesome in the first 9 chapters. But that's kind of the problem, because guess what? The other Lostbelts didn't time gate you. They didn't make you wait a month after that's very relevant. Context matters, right? The fact that we have to wait a fucking month. If you just give us these 9 chapters and you're telling us to wait a month, those 9 chapters better be good, right? But they're not. But yeah, a lot of the Lost Belts have been backloaded, but some of them aren't. You know, some of them have been paced a lot better, so it's kind of hit or miss. So she comes back with like 30-ish K, it looks like. If he crits with that Buster, he could kill right there, but I'm not gonna push my luck there. We'll take the 2 lives and be happy. From what I understand from the stream, they were not implying that the rest of the story wasn't ready yet. It is ready. They're just like delaying it, and you know, they don't want to overwhelm people or any PR bullshit. I think the real, oh my gosh, every time she guts, she gets her NP, but then she stuns herself. That's kind of funny. If she didn't stun herself, that'd be pretty wild. But yeah, she gets her NP every time her guts goes off. That makes Protoku godly here. Protoku is godly here because she stuns herself. She would have to NP Protoku 3 times. I wonder if there's a gimmick here though, because this looks like unlimited guts. So I wonder if you have to do something beyond just killing her a bunch of times. Like maybe to kill her in a specific way or something. Well, no way for me to know, so just keep slaying. Hope for the best. So she wakes up, eats a meal, goes back to sleep. Incoming. It's gonna take her a long time. Dude, because the way Curse Arm works, and the way Protoku works, and we have David, it is gonna take her... She's never gonna kill these guys. Their cooldowns will come back before she could kill them. So we have, at least that means we have like unlimited time to figure out what the gimmick is. And if they had any, like, you know, off time, you've got David and the Mystico to fill in. So yeah, there's no way we're not, we ain't dying here. My god though, what's the plan here? Oh, it's gone. Man, they could have kept that up for a bit longer. That's honestly a real boss fight if you don't have units like Ku or Curse Arm without lingering evade that stacks. It'd be pretty easy to get ganked there. You need to have a lot of self-survival for that otherwise. That's kind of a fun one. Yeah, most of these are with Tamcat are just stall and she'll just kill herself. I don't think you actually have to proc her guts a bunch of times. I bet you it's a time limit, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Ku can solo that super easy. It's just no way she could kill him. Like, he doesn't even need a team. Like, you just do it, no problem. I would have given her stun immunity, but you can remove it. That would have been fun. So if you Medea, you know, Rule Breaker, or you know, whatever, then she will stun herself. That would have been good. I think that would have been a pretty cool thing. So don't have her get stunned, and so she could NP every turn just over and over and over, and just, you know, wreck you unless you've got a lot of survival. Because you could, the thing is, you could still win even if she had stun immunity, right? So this is what I would have done. I would have given her 5 stacks of guts, maybe 6, but give her 5 or 6 stacks of guts, and then every time guts goes off, she gets her NP, and she NPs right away. And so that alone you could deal with. You know, there is enough survivability units with hard survival that you could, in CEs and everything, like the Caneth one, that you could beat it without doing buff removal. But then if you do buff removal, then it's going to be much easier because then she'll stun herself. And then while she's stunned, you're going to get more lives. I think that would have been a nice little boss right there. But to keep lowballing these, I don't know, why are they lowballing these? Like, for fuck's sakes, this is Lostbelt 6! We had to beat Zeus to get here. We had to beat Ibuki to get here. We had to beat Demeter to get here. We had to beat Gwaine to get here. We had to beat Guadia to get here. We fought all this stuff to get here. It's impossible to be here without doing that stuff. There's no reason. And again, you don't need to make... They don't want Tamcat to be harder than Demeter. Of course not. They don't want Tamcat to be harder than Zeus, and that's fine. What I just described wouldn't have been, right? But it would have been a bit more interesting, right? A bit more meat on the bones, right? These are really just kind of whatever, right? So I'm hoping they spruce it up a bit, but we'll see. I have seen people use a lot of blue cubes on Zeus. I actually had several. I've had multiple friends of mine recently use blue cubes on Zeus. I gave him the tisk tisk. But they were coming back just for the story. They've never been all that into the gameplay side of things. A lot of my friends are into the gameplay side of things, but I know plenty of people that aren't. That is a Tristan. I want to say Persona has gotten him to a higher NP rank. I don't remember him being NP 3. I thought he had him at NP like 1 and 2 over the years, so I think he may have gotten another copy. If so, he must be happy. The combo. What's a fun thing to use with this? There's always Billy. There's Robin. Let's just Robin. Yeah, that's some classic stuff there. I like that. Not the best CE for him, but not the worst. And in case of emergency, just a casual level 100 Gilgamesh with a K-scope in the back pocket. The oh shit button. Oh, this is the last chapter. I'm pretty sure. It's just 9. With the background, the music seems kind of out of place. Main story always brings the Reddit FGO Defense Force back. You're not wrong. A lot of copium out there. I tell you, I find the FGO community is horrible at taking criticism. And they take it as like a personal attack on their own interests and stuff, and it's ridiculous. I love Fate, and I've loved Fate long before FGO even existed. And I like FGO, but there's a lot of problems with this game, and it needs to be criticized, and it needs to improve. But I see a lot of copium in the FGO community, and fandoms in general. It's not really unique to FGO, but my god, FGO is absolutely terrible about dealing with criticism and stuff. I like it, so that means it's perfect, yeah. It's like Dark Souls, man. I love Dark Souls, but there's plenty of things to criticize there. And some things are subjective, right? And there's plenty of criticisms about FGO that are subjective, but there's also a lot of really obvious objective problems and areas where it's just so behind the industry, and, you know, terrible quality of life issues, and, you know, nice command code UI, by the way. I always like to remind people, though, like, as we talk about the FGO community and people are talking about the Pokemon community being, you know, terrible, you do have to remember it's vocal minorities. The majority of people that play FGO don't use Reddit, because most human beings don't use Reddit, because most human beings are sane. Most people, those are interesting looking. Those are that is so lazy. I'll get into that in a second. Anyway, most people don't get involved in forum wars and YouTube comments and Discord stuff. Most people just don't bother with that, and they may just be enjoying their game in their own time, and they're like, yeah, you know, this game's got some problems, but I like it, you know. And if you met them in a restaurant or whatever and talked about the game and, you know, brought up certain criticisms, they'd probably be like, yeah, that's fair. That's most people, right? And those people don't you know, go on Reddit and talk about these things. So these are obviously representing those guys we've been seeing in the story, and you might say these don't really look like those guys we've seen in the story, and you would be right, but these are just reskins of the like Panther, Jaguar, you know, like Goblin-esque monsters from day one FGO that they've just, you know, mildly modified. But, you know, fair enough. I don't think these guys are supposed to be too impactful on the story, but wouldn't have hurt to make some new trash mobs, I'm just saying. Do I want to NP one of these guys just cuz? Seems really unnecessary to do that, so I'm gonna go with no. But I could have had Tristan battery, then remove his debuff and give everyone the evade, and then NP right away, and then do quick. Would have been a nice turn, but these enemies aren't strong enough to blow all that. I think Tristan might actually still be alive in the story. He disappeared so unceremoniously that he might still be alive. I'm not holding my breath on that, but I think it's possible. But this is not the story, Tristan, so... We just resummoned him. Fun, guys. That's a lot of NP gain for David, but we want to get Robins. I could probably kill this guy and do the triple, because you get the extra attack and everything, but we'll just do that. Oh yeah, FGO's overall performance in the year is certainly not going to be topping the charts. It is nice that it got to the top of the chart again, but it's been a long time since they've done that. They've really been struggling this last like year and a half or so. So I kind of hope they get their head out of their ass in that department. I wonder if David won't do 5k. I think he probably will. Ooh, well, no NP gain for Robin there. I think we're gonna want to NP on this one though. I guess with Tristan because he's got his battery. Wasting damage, but nah. I was gonna get. I could have done Robin's art to give Tristan more NP gain on his quick, but yeah, I don't really need to. The thing is, I want FGO to do well and I want them to make money, but for them to really get back to the place they were at, where they were topping the charts frequently, there's just certain things that they're going to have to change. I mean, your hype characters like Merlin and Morgan and this, that, and the other, those things are only going to pop up so often and only help so much. In the grand scheme of things, that's not going to keep the game alive, right? If they really want this game to turn it around, they've got to really improve certain things, right? Like, I think they need to really rework the way they do content. They need to have more repeatable content that's fun and engaging, like a boss mode and things like that. They need to have things like, you know, that are more user-friendly, like a safety net and better UI functions, better quality of life things that are more up-to-date with what you see with other games and stuff, right? They're just really, in a lot of areas, they're behind the times, and they're afraid of change. FGO has been, like, allergic to change, and that's been a problem, I think. And in some areas, you don't need to change. It's fine to stick to your guns sometimes, but in some areas, you absolutely do need to change. And I think just overall, they've been so behind the times, it's really caught up with them. And if they don't improve, they're going to die. It's adapt or die. I'm hoping, though, with, like, their new second in command, and he's pretty much in charge of daily operations and everything, I'm hoping there's going to start, you know, being some shifts in how they approach things and everything, but we'll just have to see. No need to remove my debuff here, because I've got time. I should have cast that a while ago, actually. The thing is, unfortunately, anything that comes out of my mouth and your all's mouths and all that is never going to be heard by the developers, right? They are only going to listen to the Japanese and maybe the Chinese player base. The English player base, one, most of the developers probably don't understand English well enough for that to even matter. But regardless of that, the English-speaking part of the community is just so small, and it's such a small part of the profits, they're not going to care about what we say. But I'm not even talking about this from the NA perspective. I'm just talking about the game health and the game industry's perspective, right? But yeah, they're literally not going to listen to anything other than the Japanese or Chinese player base, because that's where all of their money is at. And you know, I have no idea what feedback the Japanese player base is giving them, and the Chinese feedback I have absolutely no faith in whatsoever. So yeah. All right, time for a bunch of NPs. Our Mystic Code does absolutely nothing, which is kind of disappointing, but what are you gonna do? These are giants, aren't they? They're probably all dead. Chinese feedback for like Genshin Impact is just awful and ridiculous, so... Oh, that copy paste. I love how that was a real comment, by the way. Yeah, they really need like a challenge tower, a boss rush mode, a safety net, story replay, new game plus mode. You know, they need to change how they structure events. They need to change how they structure rewards for new players. They need to revamp a lot of the early content so it's not garbage and it's actually fun for new players to play through the main story. It shouldn't be a chore, and you shouldn't try to rush them through it with the follow support system, right? You want them to actually have fun and play the game and learn the game, right? Like, that's what you want out of people. You don't want them to just trivialize everything and then make it to their harder content and get destroyed because they're used to trivializing the game the whole time, right? I know so many people that have tried to play FGO because they like Fate and stuff, and they even like Gacha games, or they just like Fate, doesn't either way, and they just get so bored by London that they quit, right? Because the game doesn't even start until Camelot, right? And it's just so trivial before that, and a lot of people get to Camelot and they're not prepared because the game has just held your hand so much and made it so easy. You know, just filler fight after filler fight, right? They really need to revamp the early part of FGO. It's really bad for the game. Now that is a suit, like that is a suit right there. Was not expecting to see him here, but I'm okay with this. I guess he's gunning for barrel, I would expect. I'm guessing for the most part he's just going to cooperate with us, I would think. Because we're pretty much on the same page right now, I would imagine, after Lostbelt 5. This is the first conversation in all of Lostbelt 6 that I actually want translated. And I was reading translations yesterday, and every time I was reading the scenes, I was like, I wish I hadn't read this, every time. This is the first scene I've seen where it's not, you know, I don't have a translation in front of me right now, and I wish there was one, because he's actually an interesting character, and he actually has character development, you know, from Lostbelt 4 to 5 that means something, or the plot mattered. It's part of the main story, you know, with all of his, you know, interactions with, you know, the cryptors and everything, and with Beryl portraying them and all that. I'm legitimately interested in what this man has to say here, right? So this is the first part of the story that I've given any shits about. His design is pretty extreme, but he makes it work, and he's still a really likable character, and he's not just a stereotype. That's the thing, he's not just a stereotype. You know, sometimes Japan uses designs like that, and they're just, you know, stereotypes, but he's not, so... Yeah, he gets to stay in my book. An actual character, yeah, indeed. So we don't get a back row. You just gotta use these three. 0 team cost, though. Let's not go into my rant about all the things that this game needs to improve. My regulars know what it is, and let's not go into that right now. Anyone that watches my VOD channel is like, oh god, here we go again. Yeah, I'm really glad he's not just a hollow stereotype. I was worried when I first saw his design and everything, but as the stories have progressed and stuff, you know, he's a good character. I'm like, okay, no problem. I guess I'll grab some NP gain here. Thank you for the bits, boy. Ooh, I see 3 gold chests there. Give me that loot. Are these different voice lines for her? Yeah, these sound like different voice lines. I'm guessing because this version of Gareth is the Lostbelt version of Gareth, so she doesn't have the same history and stuff. And she probably doesn't even know Lancelot and all that kind of stuff. So she's not saying Alondite overload and all that. Let's see what we get out of this. Please don't kill it. If they kill one of them, we'll get less refund. Okay, we're good. This does look an awful lot like a farming node. You are right about that, Beasley. Hey look, we looped. What a shock. She's not 10, 10, 10. Thankfully, he's got his own battery skill. Alright, they should all be dead. And if they're not, I'm gonna regret clicking Artoria's MP there. Yeah, just a little bit of damage. I think you got him. Foreshadowing the free quest. Yeah, there probably will be a free quest with those golems, I bet. Hello, loot, though. Although, a lot of these I don't need at all, but still, I'll take it. That literally is like a glorified, I have a fucking feeling in the story you're literally farming. I bet you're collecting mats for Muramasa to craft something or something like that. I bet you are killing those golems because lore-wise you need their materials to make something. I bet you that's what that is. And then they're making fun of you because they're like in lore in the story you only need to kill a few of them like that, and look at all these materials that these golems have. But when you farm them in events or free quests, you have to kill like 90 of them to get 2 drops, right? Like I'm telling you, I'm that's so what's happening right now. Wait, he can make golems? Wait, what? That's a face. Okay, more flashback stuff. And honestly, that looks better than his other getup, I would say. Man, I can't believe they didn't give us a free quest for the new mats. Like, that is so messed up. We have to wait a month. I mean, that's crazy we have to wait that long. Literally no one in the entire community can 10-10-10 any of the new servants. Like, what a joke. Like, no matter how many apples you throw at it, no matter... Oh, boy. Anyway, no matter how much, SQ or AP or apples, whatever, nothing you can do about it, and you cannot 10-10-10 any of them. Any of them. I'd be like, okay, if you could at least 10-10-10 one of them, but you couldn't 10-10 all three of them, that'd be alright, but you can't do any of them. There's a ruler here for some reason. I don't know why I'm doing this now, but I just feel like it. What? Have I been forgetting to collect these? I know it's just an ult account, and you know, ult accounts can be on the back burner sometimes, but I feel like I could... Did they give some of these out as a bonus or something? Because I swear I haven't forgotten to click them that many times in a row. Huh. See if the story will give us any context to what we're fighting a ruler for. These emotes, basically. That's a face. So I'd like to point out that Oberyn is getting wrecked in the colorful department. They laugh. Yeah, he looks way better than Oberyn, honestly. I think Mozart would approve of the style. The blobs. So whatever like is troubling this village or town or whatever, and wherever we're dealing with here, is pretty much going to be the finale of what we're able to play. Because it's only 9 chapters. Oh my god, I don't want to though. God damn it. Alright, well, Berserker really good here. We'll do the whole Pinth Jerker thing again. Totally do Brunhilde too, but we'll pretty much do what we did before and see how it does. Angry Piano Man? I don't think I have Angry Piano Man on this account. Well, not leveled anyway. If it was my main, I would do it. Oh, we do. What is he? Wow, okay. Fuck it. He's 10-10-10. I had no idea. I had no idea that I was that ready. You know what? Hold on a second. Let me check a couple of things here real quick. Yeah. Make sure we're not no, we're 1K. You know, there is a part, one of these days, it's always so disappointing how low his stats are. One of these days, I think we will grail him. I'm gonna wait though, because I really want to get Vlad extra to 90, and maybe Babbage to 100. But he's pretty high on the totem pole, honestly, and the fact that he's already 10-10-10, I wouldn't mind grailing Antonio. I've always liked him, and it's always frustrated me that he's not quite as good as I would like him to be gameplay-wise. It's a good way to fix that is grailing him, so... I remember once I said I had never seen a Genshin Impact ad, and I was being truthful about that. And then right after I said that, I've seen so many Genshin Impact ads since then. So I was like, well, I asked for that one. Ask, you shall receive, indeed. Alright, we'll do that. Do I want more starting NP? I'm thinking we're not gonna need it, at least hopefully, so we won't. I'm gonna bring Atlas because they love debuffs, man. Like this game. I'm not one of those people that get super salty over ads, though. It don't bother me. And I've never even been in, even though you see them on so many YouTube channels and stuff, like the Raid Shadow Legends, that doesn't bother me. You know, I'm not like a huge fan of Raid Shadow Legends, but I mean, it doesn't bother me. And I've seen some that are funny and stuff, so it's fine. I don't get why people get so like that when it's like if something is prevalent, they hate it. It's like people hated Fortnite just because it was popular. That's a really stupid reason to hate something. I don't really get it. And ads pay for things. So, you know, I'll take ads for video games over, you know, laundry detergent any day. So I'll, you know, if it allows all these new things to exist, I can stream because of ads, right? So, you know, I mean, yeah, I guess that makes me biased, but I felt this way even long before I was a YouTube creator or a streamer. So it's just, you know, it's way better than commercials on TV. Oh my god, these have a lot of health for being Avengers anyway. This could be a bit of a problem. Brunhilde would have been a better pick than 2 single targets. Yeah, Brunhilde would have been quite swell here. Summer Brunhilde, that is. I think I'm gonna wait to use Penn's second skill because she can't get a dot yet. I really like these guys' design though. For a trash mob, they're pretty cool. If they were playable, I'd level 1. Like, sure. I would be, dude, Epic 7 does that. They'll add new trash mobs every once in a while. Like, they'll put out a new main story, and they'll be, you know, their new rated up character and all that. And then, but they'll add a new trash mob that can be obtainable. And I wish FGO did that, man. That'd be really cool. Trying to get her NP up. Epic 7 has actually gotten a lot better, I think, recently. They've been trying to improve that game in a lot of ways, and it's okay. Like, I'll say this, if you just pick up Epic 7, you're totally free to play, and you just play through the original story, very good experience, honestly. The main story, you know, World 1-1 to World 10-10, Mario, by the way, but that's a good experience, and that's quite fun, and it's very free to play friendly, and it has some interesting boss fights, and if you just kind of play through the game, like the way it kind of curves out, when you just play through the story like that, it's good. And then I think if you do like the original hunts and kind of do the you know, the kind of early in-game content like the labyrinth and everything, that's fun too. And then after that though, it starts to fall off and it becomes very grindy after that. And if you want to be relevant in PvP, you have to grind so much to be relevant in PvP. And it's not really that, unless you really like it, it's not really worth it at that point. But it's certainly not my favorite game. But I like a lot of the character designs, and I think some of the characters are really cool. And sometimes they put out side stories and stuff that have some pretty interesting character interactions and stuff that even like deal with the main story and stuff. Like did that recently with that whole like the whole Dragon Nation kingship transfer bullshit. Like, you know, there's some neat stuff in that game. Like it can be enjoyable, but it's not a game that I would like super highly recommend for like a main game by any means. It's just, it has a lot of problems with like gearing and stuff like that. It's definitely flawed. All right, well, we got plenty of crit chance here. I'm to bonk somebody. Probably gonna kill this one here. you play it casually on the side, it really can be a good time. Like, it really can be. There is some fun stuff in that. And, like, the team building aspect of it for, like, when you're not overgeared, like how to figure out how to beat the Wyvern boss, which is like a hunt boss. That's like a thing you do for like materials and stuff, and like the golem boss and everything. That's fun. Like, you know, once you get later in the game and you get access to like more stuff, and you can trivialize that stuff and it becomes like a chore. But the initial like team building to figure out the early bosses and everything, it's fun. The end game in that game kind of falls apart, sadly. But if you like the characters and stuff, it can be a good time. Okay, well, I could NP now, but I'd have to cast a lot of stuff. Might be worth it, actually, because I probably should not have used Jerker's first skill like I did, but a little late now. If I could kill another one of these, that'd be very helpful. Even when free-to-play units are good in Epic 7 PvP, it doesn't change the fact that that game is very pay-to-win and grind to win, because you need 4 units on a team, and there's so many things you can do to put things in your favor. Like having every artifact at your disposal and have those artifacts max upgraded, right? You know, people that pay are gonna have a huge advantage on that. You're never missing an artifact, you basically have to pay. Having max imprints on your DPS and stuff like that. Those things really add up. And really though, the biggest problem with Epic 7 is not really the pay to win aspect of PvP, it's the grind to keep up aspect of PvP and even PvE later on, really. So that's overwhelmingly the problem with that game. Because you can get a lot of really powerful units in that game pretty reasonably as a free-to-play, like no problem. I'm free-to-play in that game and I've got almost all of the OP busted bullshit units in it. It's only got 87k! Remember when I said that the almost always balance rulers around the fact that you can't counterclass them? This is what I'm talking about! That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why Avengers make everything too easy when it's a ruler. And even when they do give a ruler a fuckload of health, they're normally still doable by berserkers and stuff. And like when they have more health than you might expect on a ruler, it's because they're like the main part of the challenge quest. Right? Like Joan of Arc and the Gilead's challenge quest. You know, she's supposed to be a big part of the problem, right? And they do that a lot, unfortunately. I think it's just dead right now. Man, that's lame. They really could have made something fun here, but like, this is Lostbelt 6. It's Lostbelt 6, right? You have to have beaten so much stuff to get to this point. No one is going to be so underprepared. If this thing had like 200k at least, you know, no one's gonna like, and give it a break bar for God's sakes. Like, damn, dude. Yeah, it's actually Achilles though. I do think they'll make it harder though in part 2, at least I hope. If they don't, I'll be very disappointed. How hard is the Nameless King? Some people say he's just like the hardest thing ever in that game. I don't think he is, really. I think he's only hard if like you play through the whole game and you never really learned how to roll, and you play through the whole game using shield cheese and range cheese and stuff like that, then the Nameless King will fucking obliterate you. But if you're kind of already used to bosses, you know, killing you in a few hits, and you've been focusing on dodging a lot, I wouldn't say he's easy, but I don't think he's that bad. But some people say he's like the hardest boss in that game, but I would say he's hard, but it's not really that bad. It's not that unreasonable, but he's fun. I think he's a cool boss. I think a lot of the bosses in Dark Souls 3 are pretty fun, so. Okay, Avengers again, but no ruler. Watch me bring Brunhilde, and then it's single target. What did I summon last time? I don't even remember. Chiron's good stuff. I'm just saying. Oh, she's 10, 10, 10. Nice. Chiron is way cooler than Scath, I'm just saying. And I don't mind Scath, you know, I don't like the way the community behaves around Scath, but I don't mind Scath as a character and everything, and her stage 1 is cool. You know, spears are cool and everything, Celtic stuff is cool, but Chiron is best teacher, hands down. Like, it's not even close, man. I love Chiron's character. Like, he was such an up point of APOC, and he's even better in the books, honestly, because they get more into his thought process, and he's actually does more stuff in the books. Like, he has more of an impact in a lot of the fights than he does in the anime, and he's just awesome, dude. Like he really carries the books in a lot of parts, man. Like, my favorite part of the APOC books, as I always say, is the big fight with Adam, and a big part of that is because Adam is just so awesome, and the build-up is awesome. It's a really tense and awesome fight. In the books, it's fucking terrible in the anime. But, and I like a VC Braun a lot, right? But a big part of what makes that fight scene awesome is just how if Chiron gets a lot of screen time in that fight in the book. And it's like this chess match between Adam, because Adam's getting smarter and smarter and smarter. And then, like, Chiron, that's like the whole thing. And, like, all the elements and all the other servants are basically the chess pieces. And it's just awesome. I love that fight scene in the books. And they fucking butchered it in the anime, but, that's probably the scene they butchered the most, I think. Atalante is better in the book too, but I don't think she got butchered nearly as much as a VC Braun. They fucking destroyed a VC Braun in the anime. These have so much less health now. Don't really need to be AoE now, but maybe the next wave. We'll see what happens. Cool forge back there, though. Blacksmith shop. Give me Lodestar Dwarf. That's a blacksmith. I would be so down for that. And there's multiple of those in mythology, and multiple mythologies that you could pick from. Do it, you cowards. But I really wish the APOC anime had been more faithful to the books, because the books aren't perfect and they have a lot of problems, like 100%. But I do think the books are significantly better in the anime in terms of like how the action plays out and how much action there is, and the character motivations and stuff. It's just way better in the books. Like, there's still some of the problems in APOC still absolutely exist in the books, like absolutely. But it is a lot more satisfying. Like, there's a lot more interesting character stuff with Shakespeare and Atalante and Achilles, and definitely with the VC Braun and the fights. Dude, the Adam fight scene is just so much better in the books. And if anyone like can't be bothered to actually read the books, you can look up the PDF pretty easily online. Just read in Volume 3. It's the 3rd book. Just read the Adam fight scene in Volume 3, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just compare that to the anime, and then just imagine the whole thing is like that, right? So it's quite a bit better. Zig is still kind of horrible in the books in terms of being like a, you know, self-insert plot armory main character. That doesn't really change. You know, some of the stuff is explained better, and you know, they kind of give Karna more of his due and stuff in the books. But like, you know, Zig being a bad main character is still absolutely a problem in the books. Again, the books are not like some god-sent, you know, thing or anything. Yeah, they should have made Sisigo and Mordred the main characters of APOC. That would have made it a lot better. I think Zig is a lot better since he's been characterized by the writer more since the books. He's a much better character since then. I just don't think he makes a good main character, and he made a bad eye of the story. That's the real problem. The whole like homunculus trying to understand life with a short lifespan and all this stuff, that's fine, right? Literally fine. There's nothing wrong with that character. But making him the eye of the story and using him the way they did, and having to contrive to, you know, Achilles get in the boot and Karna get in the boot so he gets to kill Amakusa and stuff, it just sucks. Like, it just fucking sucks, right? Like, and I think the love story with him didn't really, the screen time didn't really work for that, and it just, you know, it's kind of just shoehorned in there. There's a lot of problems, a lot of problems. Yeah, I do think Zig is way better in FGO than he is in APOC, because he's not really a main character for the most part. I mean, he kind of is in the story, but overall he's kind of a piece of the puzzle, and his characterization is fleshed out a lot better, because I think the writer really took the cardboard box feedback to heart and really tried to flush out Zig more. And also it makes sense. He's been alive longer and he's got more experience now, so he's a more real person, right? So it works. And yeah, I think he's a lot better in FGO. I rarely will I say that about FGO. I think a lot of times FGO is like not nearly as well written or fleshed out as like Fate Zero or Fate Strange Fake or stuff like that. But I really do think Zig is better in FGO. Yeah, not even close, really. Okay, casting this now just for the battery. Okay, let's see. No Brunhilde's beloved here. Sorry, Mash. Please do good damage. I probably should have saved Pince buffs. This isn't going to be enough, I think. Oh yeah, she has Pierce Invulnerability. That's quite nice. Doesn't matter here, but it can matter in a lot of other situations. Close! If only Pint had killed that one, probably could have killed the other one too. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, is now we're just going to take a bunch of damage. If I had known that, I would have cast Mash's first skill. Let's see if we can finish them off now. Come on, Buster Chain. Oh yeah, we got him. Cool getting to use Mash again, though. Good free-to-play unit. Hopefully Ryder Kentucky... Why does this only have 100k life? Anyway, hopefully Ryder Kentucky's gonna get a main interlude. I think there's a real chance of that happening at some point. So God, it's been so long since they've done a main interlude. I don't know why it's been so long, but it has. So it's probably just dead right now. They had so many dead months that I cannot believe it took them that... They didn't do a main interlude in all that time. It was crazy. $19 of those, There's probably going to be at least one big boss at the end of this chapter. Just a Berserker. This could be a boss. Well, I think the reason they make the welfare cost so much is because if you play the game for a long time, you do start getting a lot of rare prisms from like reruns. If you do a rerun of an event that had a welfare in it, and you already have the welfare, you get a bunch of rare prisms. Same for in the command code. So a lot of free-to-play people actually have a lot of rare prisms, and they're trying to make a rare prism sink. They're trying to find ways to eat up people's rare prisms, so people are actually wanting to, you know, get them through more premium currency methods. You know, the credit card, right? That's why I think they're doing it. Why is that blurred out? I'm confused. Like, the text box isn't blurred out. What is going on? Are we drunk? My glasses, indeed. Well, that's the thing from the anime trailer. Yikes. I'm guessing this is what's been creating those blobs. My guess is this has something to do with the tree getting cut down, you know, so in such a way that it's not even supposed to, right? It wasn't even defeated the way they're normally defeated and stuff. I'm guessing, Yeah, I know Oberon is right there. He's the midget right there. I'm guessing that it's got something to do with that. By all means, if someone in chat knows what it is, I think it's knows what we've learned up to this point about it. But you can spill the beans, right? Because that we're at that part of the story, so it's fine. I really doubt it's primate murder. I don't think so. Interesting. Is it really that? So that's more folklore stuff. That's interesting. I actually like that more than Calamity Jane. Yeah, guys, that's my SQ. That's where it went when I rolled for Calamity Jane. So I'm guessing that's what we're about to fight at the end of this chapter. Oh, okay, why, you can move the camera up a little bit. That was a thing. Okay, what are we doing here? Much purple. Guess we have at least one command spell. Okay, I guess we're getting all of our command spells back right now. I don't know why, but sure. Revive Tristan, please, I wish. Honestly, all the like British and British region folklore stuff in this Lostbelt, I am completely fine with and I like. I just wish they focused on it more and like to serve it like. Here's the thing: I have no issue with like Burgist. The concept of like the Hellhound basically, being a servant. That's fine. I'm okay with that. That's cool. Right? But then just like, and because of, the singularity, they're like taking on the name Gwaine as like, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's just fan service dog shit, right? Get that out of there, right? Don't do that. If you want to do the Knights of the Round stuff, just put them in the story, and it'd be so much better to have like a lot of the Knights of the Round in the Burgerfest and Sith Lord. Gee, I like that. Anyway, put all of the Knights of the Round. Give me Boris, all of them, right? You put all the Knights of the Round in here, right? And then have lots of this, evil folklore stuff as the antagonist. That could be awesome, and then like this thing, that's fine, that's good, right? The problem is they're not, all they're really doing is the folklore stuff, but they're barely using it, and then they're kind of slapping a Knight of the Round Table coat of paint on it, just because it's like an excuse for the gender bin something, right? It's just lame. Like, just make, Sith Lord and Burgerfest over there their own thing, which, they basically are, but they, advertise them as something else just for like a cheap buck, really. And it's like, it doesn't need that. And we don't even get the Knights of the Round at all. That'd be so cool to have a lot of classical Camelot stuff, and then a lot of, British region folklore stuff being conceptualized as servants and monsters. That would be awesome, and there's so much you can do with like the factions and sides and Morgan nonsense and Beryl and the Alien God and all that. You could really make a damn cool story here, but I feel like they're wasting a lot of really good potential right here. I feel like it's not really getting its due, and I think that sucks. It's like they're going out of their way. Why do I have to? Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't throw a good boss fight at me and force me to. Oh no. I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going. Oh my god. I don't want to use these though. How about that level? Look at this level 100 mash with no faux items. Game, I'm pretty sure I fauxed my mash. So her being level 100 basically just compensates for the fact that she doesn't have faux items. That's pretty stupid. So I'm sure they're not going to let me use my regular mash, but if they would, I'd want to compare the stats, because I bet you they're not actually that different. We can chin one of them, but only one, so... well, what are we gonna do here? What a joke. Wouldn't mind using Achilles. I feel like I haven't... you know what? Man, I need Lancelot on this account. This account has limited Knights of the Round Table, hype. I'm okay with this, though. My back row is leaving something to be desired. Maybe space it out better like that. Let's see what happens. Yeah, the CE doesn't add attack or health. It adds nothing. It's like one of the only CEs in the game like it. I know my newbie account's ready to go. I need to play that account more. I can't, whoa. I can't wait to play that account more, honestly. I really like that we got Lantoria NP5 so easily. Casual brag. Free to play, by the way. Anyway, I'm really glad we got her NP5 for like, it was like 300 SQ, and then she got the animation update and all that, so... Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We'll wait a while, but we'll do Lostbelt 6 again when it's all available and stuff with that account later, and we'll try to, you know, use Lancer Artoria a lot and Hercules, of course. Is this Cerberus? Okay, so this thing's got some kind of buff removal or something, buff resistance or buff success chance or debuff success chance. It's something in that category, right? It's buff or debuff success. Or anti, you know, up, right? It's something in that department, I would imagine. I'll just attack up and defense up. So yet again, armor ignore is good. Could be damage cut, but okay. I like the lightning in the background. That's cool. Yeah, I kind of figured this would be the final boss. It's kind of obvious. I suspect this is probably like debuff success chance up, so I'm guessing there's gonna be a lot of nonsense in that department. Always love this theme though. Mash, you're messing it up. I use that song a lot for Ricky Boy because it works so well with his NP, so. Okay, when we're attacking it, it's trying to apply curse to us. That's pretty obnoxious. If I had known it was going to cast debuffs that much, I would have already used Benevir's other anti-debuff skill. How do you know, let's do this. Wait another turn before we use mash this thing. Master hand battle. Dude, if this is good enough for a video, when I do it on my main account, I will totally work in the Master Hand theme, because it's a really good song anyway, and that's just, wow, his defense up must be pretty big. Shit, if I had known that, I would have done the attack up. We have all that debuff resist, and we got hit by like all of them anyway. Oof. Maybe I should have saved those for later. Bedivere might be a lost cause here. Sunlight, though. Dude, I am so fucking glad Gwen got a good animation update, because I've always liked his character, and I think he's gotten a lot of awesome character development over the years. And so I super like his character, and I super like his gameplay, and now he's just got these badass as fuck animations. It's a good time, man. I'm okay with it. That thing has invulnerability now. Please don't be RNG invulnerability. I really hate that. It looks like it 2 hits. It's 3 turns, 2 hits. That's what that looks like. I'm gonna have faith that I am correct. And then I'm wrong and I just cry here. Nope, we got it. Dude, Asclepius is going to be good in this fight. There's so many debuffs. That defense up, man. Need to bring someone with ignore defense. We're probably going to lose this. We really do not have a great team for it, but we'll see. I like no damage in the back is a big part of the problem here. Yeah, I'm sure they want Muramasa to do well here. So, the guy in chat that just told me to use Castoria, I'm going to tell you right now, has no idea who I am or what I do, because that's a whole lot of no. Guys, I don't know how to beat the content, and I need help. It's not like I'm handicapping the shit out of myself or anything. Never could figure out how to beat a boss fight, guys. We beat Zeus with command spells and blue cubes. That's the way. I wonder if this thing counts as giant. Even if it does, there's no way it's like humanoid giant, which is what it needs to be for David. So that ain't gonna fly. Let's see. Definitely gonna do the art chain. Do it like that. Her MP is gonna be pretty useless here, but hey, Gambler. Oh my god. I wish I had brought Asclepius. There's so many fucking debuffs here. Why did I do it that way? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, a lot of people are here that are not normally here because it's Lostbelt 6. You know, there's loads of people here that have no idea what's going on, and backseating intensifies. Although that hasn't happened in a while, but give it a minute. So, I would like this fight so much more if you didn't have to bring the 3 units, because this would actually be fun with a pure budget setup. If you went pure budget, this would be a fun fight, but because you have the 3 dead weights, well, it's more like the 2 dead weight, or the 1 dead weight, you know, it's really limiting in your ability to make a team, right? You kind of have to, you're kind of pigeonholed into something. It's not great. I really dislike that. The room for creativity and stuff here is very limited, and it doesn't need to be that way, which kind of sucks. If David could live just a wee bit longer, that would be swell. That's really weird that anyone would say Asclepius sucks. He's kind of famous for being one of the really good budget units these days, and people are salty about that because he's story locked. And even outside of the typical challenge quest anti-debuff help that I mean, my god, he's such a godsend for so many fights. He also has 20% battery, right? And that's just useful for all kinds of things. I know Ace of Hearts, who's a big budget guy, is like so looking forward to... Oh, I guess he must have him now. Surely he rolled and got him because he's rated up right now. But I know he was like super looking forward to getting to use that because it's a bit of a help. You know, David's got a little something on him there. Some plague. I can't believe I'm using that on her. But she's got the debuff immune at least. Well, not now, but soon. We might lose this. Our team is quite bad for it, so... I don't know why I did that. I don't really have anything I could do this turn that was useful. If only this thing had like a 2-hit count instead of a 1-hit count, you could Asterios and then just focus on debuff removal and stuff. Dude, there are so many ways you can approach this. You could protect Penth with her debuff immunity for 3 turns and have her nuke a health bar or 2. There's so many ways you can approach this, but you can't. Most of that stuff's not going to be viable because you don't have enough of a team to work with them. I hate that. I hate when they make bosses like this. It's not fun. Like, it's literally not fun because you get so pushed into using a very specific kind of setup. It sucks. Like, it sucks, right? There's so many setups you could do here that you're not going to be able to do because you have to bring these 3 very specific units. So you only get 3 slots to work with. And there's just so many units that can't work in that context. So you have to use the ones that do. Like, it's not fun at all. And like, I don't think this, if you actually try, I don't think this boss is going to be hard at all. But it's more about being able to have fun with it. And there's no room to have fun here. And I'm so not a fan of that kind of thing. I mean, these separate story from gameplay all the time. It's almost random when they decide to be like this. Hey, Carlos, thank you for the 2-month free sub. Nice normal name there. To hit again. Yeah, I saw that. It like stole the curse and like got buffed or something. It was like the more... I wonder if like the more curses you have, the more he'll get buffed or something. Again, Asclepius would be really good here. You know, if you could land that crit, that would be swell. 60%, when has that ever gone wrong?
それは全ての傷、全ての怨恨を癒す我らが故郷。権限せよ、ロード・キャメロット。
そこに至るはあまたの研鑽。気づきに気づいた刀塚。八重垣作るは戦時の刃。散った成仏していきな。
Jesus Christ, why does he do so much damage here? Did he just cure himself? They just want Muramasa to murder this, don't they? They literally want you to just like protect Muramasa, and it's plot armor. We're in Fate's Thy Night, boys. Is bullshit. This is so bullshit. They just want you to protect Muramasa, and LOL, he's gonna murder it. What a joke. What a fucking joke. You could totally beat this without him though, which is what I'll try to do in the video. That looks pretty cool though. I like that. And this being off screen mostly kind of makes sense with the way it looks. So this is a more reasonable like fighting a ligament fight than a lot of the previous ones, right? It's not so bad. Here, we'll give him the dramatic slow-mo. Beastly knows. This sucked. This sucked so much. This could have been so much better. This was so lame. This was not a real fight at all. It's an illusion! I mean, I just brought a terrible team, and it's just LOL Muramasa can just absolutely obliterate this. Like, what a joke. So, I don't think there's a single really good boss fight in this whole story for the first part. I think the best fight is trying to solo Burger Fest. Like that, I did that on my main account, you know, off stream, and I wish I had played around with that on stream, because honestly, that was fun. Trying to break her first health bar with different units in a solo was pretty interesting, because she had a lot of gimmicks, like the buff removal and then getting more attack when she kills somebody and the damage resist and everything. It was actually a lot of fun, but it's optional. You don't even have to do it, but yeah, and the caster horse was okay. Nothing exceptional, but it was okay. There are no good boss fights. There are no good boss fights in this story. And now we have to wait a month. We have to wait a month to see the rest of the story. So far, this Lostbelt's not great. It's probably my least favorite Lostbelt so far. And that might change. You know, we only have 9 chapters are available, and there's probably like 22 chapters or so. But so far, none of the gameplay is good. There's a couple of fights that are kind of okay, but nothing exceptional. And I'm not too into the story from the translations I've been reading, and just from what we can see as well. It's eh. And I'm not a huge fan of like the roster they added and the way they were handled. And so now they're just going to be like, hey, look, something cool is going to happen later. Are we being invaded from Lostbelt 7? Looks cool. I'd imagine killing the thing is what triggered that. Rongo Bongo? Alien God? Looked like lightning, pretty much. Zeus, yeah, Zeus is back. I'd be alright with that. Boy, that cleared up real fast. Did Mash get spirited away, and then we're gonna think she's dead? Question mark is talking to us. And where's Guadia? He has been in the story for a while. I don't think Mash died, but if she's gone, they're gonna make you think she died for a while. But there's no way Mash died right there. But if Mash is gone, then that'll be a whole thing. But there's 0% chance she's dead there. So did they tell you what was responsible for that? Or is it just like giant question mark? Morgan? Well, it looked like she was trying to hit all of us, but Mash pushed us out of the way, which doesn't make any sense. If your spell can be stopped by someone pushing someone, probably not the best spell. So that was Morgan shenanigans is what people are saying. What a face. What is this guy's name, by the way? Flat altar. Oh yeah, Spriggan, right. Someone said that last stream. I know, this really would be a good Lostbelt to summon Mordred, because this is what I'm talking about! This is what I've been... Okay, my regulars, I've been saying this shit for years, right? Them using Mordred all the time, but in frivolous, useless ways, and giving her no characterization, it's meaningless fluff garbage, is just gonna mean they're not gonna use her when it would actually matter, and that's exactly what's happening. They used her a million times in a bunch of useless stories where she had almost no dialogue, no character development, no meaning. She's just window dressing, and then the player base is just like, I'm so sick of Mordred, even though she doesn't do anything ever. And then now, when actually it's thematic as fuck, and you can have some characterization, and you can see how she feels about Morgan and stuff, and then we don't use Mordred. Like, you're going to use Mordred in China. You're going to use Mordred in China. That's arbitrary and contrived as fuck. And then it's arbitrary and contrived as fuck not to use her now. But no, we use Tristan for 7 seconds. It's just lame, dude. Like, why couldn't we have actual story for Mordred for fucking once? But yeah, I've been saying this for years. That they were never going to use Mordred when it mattered, because they just keep using it for garbage. And this really would be an awesome time. You could have Tristan and Mordred. That'd have been great. Like, why? That'd have been a good fucking time. Like that could have been our two big allies here. But nope. I'm hoping there'll be more of Tristan later, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm worried about Lostbelt 7, but you know, its premise is more. The thing is, people don't really have any specific expectations for Lostbelt 7, because they didn't do things like saying, you know, Land of the Knights of the Round Table, and they didn't do any of that. You know, they have hyped up Ort, but they've hyped him up so much that it's obvious that they are going to use him, and that's really all you need to do to meet expectations there, right? Alright, Beryl and Sith Lord there. Yeah, they don't even go by Tristan and Gwaine later on. Again, it's just like a Antonio went by Mozart Alter, they go by their regular names later. And when you make the max level as playable units, they go by their regular names. So, yeah, it's just time gated now. Look at that! It's just legit time gated. It's not even like a chapter thing. It's just like event time gated. And so like if you play this later, you won't even know. You'll just click the next chapter and you wouldn't even know. Like it's not like it's separated like how 5.1 and 5.2 are separated, right? Like if you play this in a month, you won't even know that this was ever time gated. This is a fucking event story, right? Like it's so goofy all the time. It's literally an event story. Like that's the same UI that they use for when an event story is time gated. Dude, I can't. We waited so long. We waited so long for Lostbelt 6, and it finally gets here. They hype it up, and then it's 9 chapters. It's 9 chapters, and they're like, guys, you wait another month. And I know it's just a month, but like when you wait this long and they make you wait another month, it just sucks. I was so excited. It's been so many dead months for FGO. It's been so much dead content for FGO for so long. I was so excited. I love new main stories. My favorite time for FGO. I was so excited, and Lostbelt 6 was the one I was the most looking forward to. So I was just so ready to like have new story, pump out some videos, stream it. You know, because I mean, Lostbelt 5 too, man. That was just so much stuff, and but we're already done. Like, what the fuck? There's like 3 fights that are maybe video worthy, kind of, not really. So it literally could do that in a day if I wanted to. And it took 2 streams with me stalling, by the way, because we were doing like the dragon and everything, right? And yeah, like 2 streams. Like we're already done, and now we have to wait a month. And sure, normally we have to wait like 6 months, so you know, I guess that's the thing. But like we've already been waiting so much, and now we have to wait a month again. It's like, come on. And there were no good fights really. There were a couple of okay ones, but there was nothing that like really stood out. And I was like, oh man, that was fun. It's just lame. It's like, and especially how FGO's been so blech lately. Like this is not what I wanted, right? It's like we wanted a real shot in the arm. This is not a real shot in the arm. Now that we're done already, feels bad. What does this button do? What? What is this? Is this a lore thing? I don't even. Anyway, history of the Lostbelt timeline, I think, huh? So it is a lore thing. Interesting. We'll see if Maniac had time to set up command codes and stuff on Burger Fest. And we'll see how she does against the dragon. We said we'd give her a rematch, so yeah, I think we just close that one. It says like the timeline. I mean, I don't mind them doing that. That's fine. A little random, but I mean, for a nickname, I think Burger Fest is about the best nickname you're gonna get, so I mean, it's pretty fitting. Alright, let's see if we can actually get Maniac to show. There he is. Oh, he did! Look at him. Look! He didn't get the Gut CE, though. That might kill us. I think we're gonna need that. But he did get anti-dragon command codes, so I won't complain. But we did not get the Gut CE, unfortunately. I probably slurred my words when I was saying that, too, because I was kind of blurting shit out there. It's still probably beatable without it, though. We can make this work, I think. Might have to get a little lucky. Her Bond CE gives her a 30% chance of getting 500 max HP buff, an additional 30% MP damage boost. Do you think that has potential to be a good Bond CE? It's okay. The thing is, she likes to... That's going to lower your damage by so much, and that only makes her soft survival better. And she's got the soft survival unlocked so much, she's going to want 2 things from her craft essence. Either just more damage so she wins before she needs hard survival, or more hard survival because your Mystic Code gives you some, or just more hard survival, right? So she either needs hard survival, like a gut CE from her craft essence, or she needs more damage to get more done with the time that she has. Using your craft essence for more soft survival seems like that's just pointless. You know, that's like giving Ku the Caneth. I almost said it, but giving Ku the thing. You know, it's just he doesn't need it. He's already got the survivability thing down. You want more damage. So yeah, maybe if there is a fight that is, because some fights are just, the enemy is just throwing out massive normal card damage turn after turn, but they don't really have like an MP threat, right? And in fights like that, it really is good to just have so much soft survival. So maybe occasionally it's good. But if you're a big fan of her, I would definitely try to get her Bond 10 kind of quick, because it could be, you know, there are occasionally it could be all right. But she's going to really excel, I feel like, with survivability craft essence, with like guts or something, or just more damage. I think damage is a really good way to go for her a lot of the time. I tell you, her gameplay really is interesting. A tiny part of me wants to roll just because I like her gameplay so much, but her character design, I mean, her stage 1 is okay. I don't mind her stage 1, it's alright. But I am not hyping it, right? Like, if it had a helmet, it'd be a lot better, but I am certainly not hyping it. But the gameplay is certainly awesome, so... but it looks like a few of my friends are getting her, so I'll probably just leech off them, and when we want to see how Burgerfest do, we'll just use theirs. The thing is, I have nothing to save up for anymore, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with my SQ right now. Fucking Millennium Tree, dude. Worst fucking CE in the game. It's so useless. Story roll time. But I love her NP effect. That's super interesting. And I like her a lot more. Is it bad? But I like both of them more when I found out that they're not actually Gwen or Tristan. Right, it's more like the Mozart altar thing. That makes me dislike. I don't give a fuck though about Sith Lord, man. I just don't care about that character at all. And she looks like Liz, for God's sakes. But I do like them more when they're actually their own fucking characters. That definitely helped. But I mean, Jesus, look at these colors, man. Like, it's just not my cup of tea. But I don't hate her, but. Nothing I'm like, oh my god, gotta roll. And I do think Percival, they hinted at Percival coming up in the next part. And so I think he might be the big boy Lancer. And if he has a cool personality and a good voice actor, and I'm so worried that what if Percival's gameplay, or whoever the big knight is, what if his gameplay is really boring? Right? Because seriously, Burgerfest has legitimately awesome gameplay that's really unique, and it's like, oh yeah, that's something new and exciting to try. What if Burgerfest is kind of whatever, right? It's like been there, done that, and not even that good at it, right? That would really suck, right? Like, why can't he have the cool shit? But I guess we'll just have to see, and hopefully he'll have something, you know, unique. And the thing is, I don't mind. It's okay when servants are a bit derivative. That's okay. That's fine. The thing is, when they are derivative, you want them to at least be a little different than what they're like to, and then stand on their own. They don't need to be better. I actually don't really like when the new kid is just like so blatantly designed to one-up the standard of their type. I don't like that, right? But you want them to not suck. You know, for example, let's say Rama had the toolkit he has right now, and he was added right now. That would suck. And it's not because his toolkit is similar to a lot of units that are already out there. It's that his toolkit's kind of underwhelming, and it's also like toolkits that are already out there. Because I know this is the case, and I see this happen all the time for people, like my friends, people on Discord, Wiki, you name it, where there's a certain style of unit out there that somebody really likes, but they either don't have one of those units, or the units like that exist, they don't like. This is a real thing. There's certain styles of units out there that people want that gameplay, but they don't like the characters that have it. So when you add a new character that they do like, that has similar gameplay, they're like, oh hey, here we go. right? Or it's just more accessible. It's like, yeah, I wanted X, but the X isn't rated up. But this new thing has got X, and it is rated up, and so now I have X, right? I don't mind derivative, toolkits. It's when they're derivative bad and not interesting, right? That's the problem, right? Because they've added plenty of units that are, somewhat similar to things that already exist. But I'm happy with it. So what I'm worried about with Percival is he's kind of been there, done that, and not even that good, right? And like there's no need for him, and that would be unfortunate, right? Okay, let's see. Because I have my NP, we definitely just cast everything because we want to get the cooldown reduction on everything. Here, stage 1 does get a pass for me, though. I like knight characters and stuff. It's kind of a wacky knight design, but, it's alright. I wish she had gotten a fucking helmet in one of her stages, but the other 2 stages are the really off-the-walls ones, so, tis what it is. I think we pass on that 50% crit just because I don't want to use the heal yet. Got that Merlin command code, though. That's good. I mean, part 2 for Lostbelt 6 could still turn it around, right? So we'll see. Looks like it's gonna get more serious now with like how it wrapped up there, so I'm hoping it gets going. I'm gonna be open-minded. I'm not gonna go into it and be super negative, right? I'm gonna try to give him a fair shake. So we'll see what happens. It's weird doing this when I have the Buster up, but I feel like it's kind of makes sense with her because her NP is just so good at getting the skill down. Yeah, it's Berghest, but at the beginning of the story, she like goes by Gwaine, but she ain't. It's it's really weird because it's like a folklore monster that they made a character, which is a bit odd, but that seems to be like the thing in Lostbelt 6, with even the non-playable characters. That's that big monster we just fought, right? That's like the whole shtick. It's not a terrible time to... No, we should do one more turn of NP gain. Besides, it gives us that Buster down thing, and I was actually pretty smart in Maniac to do that. And we definitely get our NP here. I think the goal for difficulty with main story should be pretty much the difficulty we had in Lostbelt 5-2. Right now, I don't mean copy-pasting, the exact fights, but I mean like just that difficulty curve. Have different fights that reward different types of units and all that, but that was an excellent difficulty curve because it was hard but fair and reasonable, but certainly hard, but not like, oh my god, you gotta, It had wiggle room. There were multiple ways you could approach the boss fights, even from a budget standpoint, and that's good. But it was still tough, right? I really liked it. Now this sucks. If I use my NP right now, the cooldown reduction is going to whiff on my second skill because it's going to come back this turn anyway, and that's where being 10-10-10 could really matter because it'd already be back and I could cast it and then get it. Oh my god. Seriously, she's going to see a big performance spike at 10-10-10. Like, abso-fucking-lutely. That is unfortunate. There really are some people that are bad at FGO, it is true, but a lot of people aren't and they just shut the fuck up, right? So... I will say though, I definitely watched some people play FGO and it's like shocking. And it's because the game does such a bad job of teaching players things, though. Like the game really is bad at teaching people basic like team building stuff and mechanics and what the fuck Imperial privilege does, and you know, so on and so forth. You know, a lot of that is definitely the game's fault. Maybe I should have saved that for next turn, but I want the battery. I tell you, she would absolutely lose this fight if we didn't have the gut CE, if she couldn't remove buffs. But because she can remove buffs, the dragon's NP won't hit us so hard. Like this dragon, he gets so much extra damage per stack of this buff. I mean, you all have seen it in some of the fights in the past. You know, you can just obliterate somebody. But because she can remove buffs, she removes buffs once time per attack, but she attacks 4 times, so she can remove up to 4 buffs. The dragon never has his NP buffs, and he won't hit us too hard. Do we BBB here? Or do I want to get my NP again? I kind of want to get my NP again. But we have Buster up. We'll do this. The heal boost is actually nice when we're healing ourselves. Yeah, they don't want you to know her identity right away. Even if you summon her before playing the story, you don't figure out her true name until you get her to max level. And, you know, like, all the dog stuff is kind of, you know, like, what is that? You don't really get it, right? And you don't learn it in the story until later. But that was kind of cool because I didn't know what the deal was. But I was like, what's with the dogs? And then we figured it out. I'm like, oh, that's what's with the dogs, right? So that was actually kind of cool how they did that. Okay, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it again. Just we keep doing the Buster damage up thing, but not using Buster cards. We're having to go really slow here. And she does do more damage. If you have the Sun buff out, she's got the Saint thing. It's way weaker, though, than Gwen's. Hers is like C rank or whatever. But she has no way of generating the Sun on her own. But who knows? Maybe they'll buff her later. I don't want them to do that, though. It's kind of nice that's Gwen's thing. I do think she could use a buff down the road, though. We'll see. We haven't seen her at 10-10-10 yet, but I do feel like they could do that. Wait, did I forget to remove the... Oh, no, we just now got it. I was like, wait a minute. But, like, her numbers are a bit wonky in terms of, like, her unupgraded NP, AoE, Buster. Her damage ups aren't the biggest. There's some wonky stuff with all that. If you did Gwen and her on the same team, you would need the third unit to be something that could really enable BPP stuff, right? It really needs to be something that's getting you stars and just, you know, big normal card damage. Merlin, stuff like that is definitely what you're looking for. Then maybe the switched Mystic Code when you run out of gas to bring in another one, or Anniversary Blonde, right? That if you're gonna have 2 units like that out, you've got to be able to get big Buster crits and reliably. Guess I just keep doing that. I probably should have done the art card last. If you did Gwen and her, Merlin, and then the first back row unit was another Merlin, that would be pretty good. It's like Merlin's good or something, guys. Who knew? The amount of buff removal she has, though, is wild. Her extra attack is a way lesser version of Queen's NP. It's not even close. Like, we can go get Gwen, and his is a little bigger. We do that.
敵ではない真の姿を見せてやる反人類史何する者ぞ我が剣のシミにもならず
They really do need a buff for NP though. I could that it could be better. I know she's AoE and everything, but like it's not the best NP damage at all. It's kind of shilling. Okay, this is the NP that we're kind of worried about. We might need to after this NP. I think we transition into BBB spam. I'm so iffy on using her third skill there. I think using it next turn might be better. If she was 10-10-10, definitely, but I almost want to go BBB now, but I think we go for one more NP, then we go BBB. But if the boss gets a third NP, we're dead. I mean, there's no. So we need to go now. We'll see though. I don't know. I mean, we're taking off all his NP buffs. We'll see how much damage it does. Okay, definitely BBB next turn. Fucking. We've been here before, by the way. Old hat. I should have swapped those cards. I don't know why I did that. Look at all this healing though. That double 1,000 heal is really cool. I gotta say, her gameplay is neat, and I'm looking forward to seeing it against like, you know, content and bosses in the future. This is some neat gameplay, so it's definitely cool. Like the different synergies with the different command codes give you some pretty interesting options. Do we have a debuff clear? Shit, we don't have a debuff clear command code. We really could use that. That dot's gonna give us a hard time here. Okay, what do we do here? I kind of need to... I kind of have to use the heal boost if I like it or not. Because we need to not die this turn. The top hat command code removes an enemy NP buff, which is incredibly specific, and then if it does that, it'll put a buster defense down on the enemy. That lasts 3 turns. Very, very niche, but if you are a buster unit and the enemy does have NP up, it can be a lot of extra damage for you. But it's crazy niche. It's so niche, it's kind of bizarre that they even put it in. Oh yeah, we have buster down now. That sucks. So we are so close to stabilizing if I can just not die this turn. Because we have buster down, maybe we don't BBB. I don't know. We get the heal next turn. I want to do heal plus because I can heal next turn, so we'll do this. Music a little loud there. I gotta say, I'm really disappointed in Morgan's gameplay, and not in her overall effectiveness. I actually like where she is effectiveness-wise. She's a good unit, but she's not like trivializing old units that are similar to her, and that's good. That's fine. It's just not very fun, and it doesn't feel very Morgan-y. It really just doesn't, right? I almost like it because I do like that they did work in the debuff angle, but I really would have preferred her to be a full-on support. I wanted her to be like a Merlin tier support, but she does it through mostly debuffs. And that's totally possible. And I've talked about how you could do that in the past, and I think that would be... And seriously, you could push the envelope and make her a damn good unit, right? Her gameplay's kind of eh. It has nothing to do with her effectiveness. It doesn't really fit her that well. Am I the only one that feels this way? I just don't feel like her gameplay fits her very well. The debuff angle is the only thing that does fit her, and yeah, you summon the Lostbelt version. You do not summon the regular Pan History version one, which actually sucks. I would rather summon the Pan History one. Through her profile and stuff, you learn stuff about the Pan History version of Morgan, but yeah, she's not the summonable one, unfortunately. Yeah, I feel like her gameplay is mismatched. It's I don't even hate the gameplay. I don't even hate the gameplay. I just don't like the gameplay on her. It just doesn't feel right, right? It's not what I really wanted out of Morgan. I want that out of like some wacky berserker, right? You know, it's weird. It's weird. I like her design though and all that, and I'm glad she doesn't have the same voice actress as Artoria because that would have been fucking ridiculous. I like how she's like similar to Artoria but then very different. That's how it should be because she's her sister, right? So them looking similar makes sense, but I'm really glad they did that. I think it's a really good way to make that work. So in terms of her design, voice acting and all that, that's all fine. I don't have a problem with any of that. Okay, we can heal for a crap load here. I need to use the heal boost again, which means I kind of got to do this again. Let's go... Fuck. The heal boost on Art here is awkward. Let me think. It doesn't matter if the heal boost hits the command code or the 1k self heal from the skill. It doesn't matter, so I can do it like this. All right. If we the problem is we might have to deal with the third NP because we're not doing a lot of BBB stuff, so the boss still has a lot of health left. So I have to either kill it or stabilize here. And by stabilize, I mean like pretty much get all of my fucking health back. We might lose last second. I really do think she's got this though if we just have a gut CE. I think she'll totally have it then. And even without, it's probably doable. I'm not sure I'm playing this quite right. I'm definitely questioning my choices of card selection. I actually like that. Anytime I play a unit and like with a lot of turns or every turn where I'm questioning if I'm actually clicking the right buttons, that's normally a good thing, right? That normally makes me enjoy the unit more and try to figure things out and stuff. So, and to this day, every time I play Fujino, I'm always like, am I making the right decision? I have never felt confident in my Fujino gameplay ever. Not once. Every time I play that unit, I'm like, should I BBB or BAA? Or do I star bomb here? Or do I star bomb late? I never fucking feel confident. And it's because Fujino's got some weird nuance to her, and I don't use her enough, right? And because I don't use her as often as I use like Ku or something, it's wonky. You do better than most? Yeah, that's not saying a lot though, I have a feeling. Dude, Beastly's got some cool fucking videos with some real nuanced gameplay, man. And he's also got some videos with Fujino where it's just see red, press red, too. And, you know, it's best of both worlds, so... But yeah, Beastly Whale's got a YouTube channel. He's got some really cool Fujino videos. Like, I'm telling you, he has got some really cool solos that, like... It's like... I love when I watch a solo video, and I'm like, how... Okay, Fujino's really strong, right? She's really powerful. But some of the things he's soloed with her, I'm like, how is she gonna beat that? Like, that's not a, you know, a good fight for her, or it's not an easy fight to solo, period, right? And then there's just, and every turn you're like, really thinking about, okay, well, how are you gonna get the most value out of every turn here? And it's exciting, right? I think Fujino solos can be really exciting because there's a lot of decisions to be made, and because she's so powerful, she can take on some stuff you really wouldn't think she'd be able to solo. Yeah, like the Lancer solos, and that Demon Pillar solo from Salem is really good, and the God Juno one is really good. There's some fucking good ones, man. That some of the, yeah, by all means, link the channel. But yeah, those are my favorite solos that I've watched because some of them are real nail biters. Always like those. But yeah, I always recommend the God Juno one. That's okay. We are so close to winning. But we're also so close to dying. I think we BBB. I don't know though, if I NP'd one more time, I might have been able to get my health back up enough. We'll see. The thing is, I don't need enough health to like live a long time. I need enough health to just live the NP and that's it. And I might be able to do that. Oh fuck, I forgot I had my battery. Because I had my battery, I probably should have gone for NP. Well, it's too late now. I think we are dead. We can heal boost. I'm not gonna kill if I BBB this turn, so I should heal boost. And see if that's enough. This is so doable by her though. This is so doable. Oh crap. Well, yeah, okay. We're really gonna need that guts. We're gonna need that guts CE, I think. I really am starting, even though she's not like my favorite character design-wise, I'm tempted to roll for her just because there's so much potential with her command codes. I'm thinking of like so many ways you can set her up with command codes. Because you can go for more short-term, just, you know, get a Star Bomb and a Star Absorb and things like that. And you could put on her, because you do sometimes when you use her quick art, you could put Star Bomb on her quick. And then you make a lot of stars, and then you rotate into doing BBB Buster stuff, right? It's really interesting, so, yeah, I don't know, I might roll a bit for, the main reason I'm not sure if I want to roll for Burger Fest is because, one, her design is not my favorite ever by any means, and two, because I do think Big Boy Knight is coming up soon, and if he's got a good voice actor and I like his characterization and everything, I definitely want to get him. And he's probably a 4-star, and I probably have enough to get both. But let's say I rolled for both of them. That would be a lot of my SQ. And then if they added, like, there's an event down the road, and they added, you know, Butch Cassidy or Henry V or, you know, whatever, and I wanted that too, I might not be able to get them, and that would really suck. So I'll have to think about it. I did roll for Calamity Jane because of gameplay, but I already had Calamity Jane, so I didn't have to roll very much. I only needed one copy of her, and I also stand by this. I really like Calamity Jane's gameplay. Also, I had 2000 SQ then, right? I had the wiggle room. If I had 2000 SQ again, I would roll. Absolutely, I would roll. This gameplay is good enough that I'm like, yeah, I'll throw a chunk at that. The reason I'm iffy is because I only got 1,200. That ain't that much, right? So if I throw like 300, 400, 500 at it, because I have to get at least NP2, but preferably NP3, you know, I might have to use a lot of SQ for that. I'm not, then if, again, I still have a lot left, but then if I rolled for, you know, potentially Percival, then I'm going to be about out, right? And that's not the best. Although I will say, if I rolled for her and I rolled for Percival, and I did run out of SQ, that's maximizing my chances of getting Hercules, which is something I really want to do, by the way. And yes, I do blame Calamity Jane for this. It's actually, a lot of it, though, is not Virgil's fault. Because back when Not Virgil came out, I also had over 2,000 SQ or whatever, and I just could not get him. Because this is what happened. He actually baited me so hard. That son of a bitch, he fucking... God, so what happened, I used one summon ticket. And I got him. Because I wasn't really even planning on rolling for him, right? But I got one summon ticket and I got him. And so then I got motivated because like, oh, I got him once for free. So I only got to get one copy of him, and then he's NP2, and generally 4-stars are, you know, they're really good at NP2 and you're really happy with him there. So yeah, okay, I got him NP1 for free. So I'll basically roll for one copy of him, and I'll get him NP2 and it'll be great. And it was a trap. It was a trap. I could not get another copy of him. He was solo rated up, and I just kept getting fucking Kiara and the 5-star CE over and over and over and over, and it took so much SQ to get one copy of him. It was and Himiko. Yeah, it was Himiko. Excuse me. Kiara was the other problem. Yeah, it was Himiko. Yeah, 'cause I literally have multiple Himikos on this account. It's God. Anyway, and so yeah, that was a big problem. But that was a long time ago, and I had a lot of SQ, so you know, it wasn't that big of a deal. But then Calamity Jane, and then that also went unbearably terribly. And so between those two, it was just, oh yeah, and then I also had the brilliant idea of throwing summon tickets at Summer Brunhilde. Only summon tickets. I didn't use any SQ, but I didn't get Summer Brunhilde back then, and I got double Kiara, so. It was just a streak of a lot of stupid shit, and it wasn't great. So if I hadn't done that, I'd have like, you know, 3,000 SQ right now, or 2,500 or something, and then I could easily afford to roll on something I only kind of like, right? But now I have plenty of self-control because I mean that's how I got up to 2,000, you know, SQ in the first place. Because the thing is, I don't exactly regret it because I really do like Not Virgil. I don't roll on every other thing I kind of like. You all have seen this. I skip banner after banner after banner after banner. Why do you think I have so much SQ? You know, I didn't buy it. I just save it forever. But I really do like Not Virgil, right? He's awesome, right? The problem is Beastly came in and got his is so much stronger than mine that I'm like, I almost never have a need to use mine, because if we want to use them, we always use Beastly's. Because Beastly's over there, I'm a Grailum, I'm a, you know, he all the things, right? His is just so much better than mine that if you really want to push it and see what he can do, we don't use mine, right? So see, with Calamity Jane, you know, I pretty much have the best one around these parts. So we do want to test it, you know, I use mine, right? But because here's the thing, Beastly, I'm not trying to take any shots at anybody, but I have played this game for a long time, and I've interacted with the community for a long time, and I've had my YouTube and Twitch for a long time, and I've used a lot of other people's units, okay? A lot of people don't know what they're doing, right? And so they might have the biggest X unit around, but they're missing the right craft essences, they swap the wrong command codes, they're, you know, it's yikes, right? And so then if I have it myself, it makes it a lot easier, I don't have to worry about it. But if it's Beastly, you know, Beastly, I can just send him a message on Discord, and he's going to get it sorted in you know, he knows the craft essences that make sense, he knows the command codes that make sense, you know, he got it, right? And so it's like easy and accessible. Beastly's on my support list all the time because of what I just said, among other things, and so, you know, I don't have to like add him and remove him, add him and remove him. He's just, so if Beastly's got a unit that's grailed and all that, right? It's always going to be accessible and easy to use for me, and then there's literally no, if it's grailed more than mine, there's no reason in me using mine. Because it's so easy for me to use Beastly's, right? Where if Jim Bob has a really upgraded Not Virgil, you know, I have to add him to my friends list, and then you know, you gotta figure out the command codes and blah, 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 and it's just, you know, it's not worth it half the time, and then I can use my, you know, my non-grailed one instead, and then it's fine, right? But yeah, because Beastly fucking went MP5 level 100 and all that stuff, I don't ever really use mine, but one day I will, I think, because I might grail mine to 90 at some point, and then I can kind of justify it there, and sometimes for videos it's nice to use the level 80 versions of them, so I'm still glad that I have him and everything. I'm just not glad that it took so much SQ. I got robbed, is what I'm getting at here. Beastly is not the only person, though, that, like, you know, knows how to set up the units proper and all. There's plenty of regulars in my chat and stuff that are like that, and it's the same boat. If they have, you know, a grailed version of something, like, it's kind of like Super Orion, right? Lost has got Super Orion over there lifting skyscrapers, so the fact that my ult got spooked by Super Orion, I'm like, it's you know, mine's never gonna be as good as Lost's, and I'd have to spend all that, I'd have to spend 120 million QP to, you know, so I'm like, I'll just use Lost Super Orion, right? So it's it's up, especially with 5 stars, because they're so costly to level up. I bet Jim Bob beat Zeus without OP support Rhymeless, yeah, just chin gong him. Yeah, I don't really have willpower issues. I'm really good at knowing what I actually want in the long term, what I will be happy with in the long term, and what I won't be. You know, I skip rate-ups all the time. I don't roll very often, but that's why I'm tempted for Berghest, is because I like units like 100 Face and, you know, Choco Jana or whatever, those units that really have that potential that a lot of people don't seem to see, and are just unique, that they just play in a really unique way, and Berghest very much plays in a unique way, so I am definitely tempted. So we'll see, I'll think about it. I think she has a few solo rate-ups. Let me check on that. Let me make sure I'm not, like, literally on the final solo rate-up she ever has. If that's the case, then I need to make up my mind soon. Okay, let's see. Let me just check here. What are we on here? Because I got the page up so I can see where we are relative. Okay, so this is, that's right. They're still dual rated up. I think this is probably the last day yet. I think today is the last day they're dual rated up. So then she's solo rated up tomorrow, and then Sith Lord, and then dual rated up, and then her again. So I have plenty of time to figure that out. Also, these new CEs, by the way, I'm really glad that they're in the game. I just wish they put them in Mana Prism Shop, because these new CEs they're catch-up CEs. 100%. These new 4-star CEs are catch-up CEs, right? They're there for players to kind of get on par with a lot of the craft essences from the past. They're not quite as good, but they're unbelievably good for 4-star CEs. They are so much better than most of the 4-star CEs out there. They're not quite as good as, like, you know, Aerial Drive. The Buster one is not quite as good as Aerial Drive. The Art one's not quite as good as Painting Summer. The Quick one's not quite as good as that Christmas one, right? But you don't have to play during Christmas to get it. You don't have to play during Halloween to get it. You know, you can get these anytime. They are really good for 4-star craft essences. They're surprisingly. I prefer Mustard CE. Yeah. I prefer Mustard over Ketchup as well, actually. The Ketchup. The same thing. Okay, I could talk about FGO all day, and there's a lot of stuff I want to test, but I should probably wrap up, because I've been streaming for 3.5 hours, and I really need to make sure I stay ahead of my symptoms, unlike yesterday, and I'm feeling okay right now, so it's probably a good time for me to not push it. Do one ticket. Okay, you know what? Wait, no. Sometimes I do that. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to roll on this thing, but I will use summon tickets on it. I do that all the time. That's why I only have 7 summon tickets. I do that all the fucking time. I will throw summon tickets at literally whatever the fuck. But I am not doing that until it's solo rated up, because I don't want fucking Sith Lord. Dude, if I got spooked by Sith Lord right now, just no. Just fucking no, right? That is not happening. So yeah, no, we'll if I throw summon tickets at it, we'll do that at a later time here. I'm trying to remember if I bought the... Yeah, okay, we've gotten the stuff we really need here. But yeah, I'll definitely throw the summon tickets at her. And if I roll more or not beyond that, we'll see. And who knows, maybe I just luck sack it. You know, it's just a 4-star. Maybe we just luck sack it and we just get it with the summon ticket. So, you know, then we don't have to worry about it. So we'll just see what happens. But, yeah, I don't give a fuck about, Vampire Sith Lord over there. You know, I'll give her this. I will say her gameplay's kind of cool too, and I'm glad that she's actually balanced. I think ultimately, I think Tristan is better than her. I really do. I think Tristan is actually better than her. Now, that's not always true. There are some times that what she does is better than what Tristan does. You don't always need buff removal, and you don't always need debuff clear and that kind of thing. But I think they're pretty good apples and oranges against each other, but I really do prefer Tristan's gameplay. However, her gameplay is still neat, you know, the whole drain thing and all that. It's fine, like, she's got cool gameplay, so, but I don't like her character very much, so, her design is too spacey for me, and her third stage is, honestly, I find her third stage funny. It's supposed to be, like, edgy or something, but it's just funny. It looks stupid. Like, her makeup's melting, and the gag looks like she's got a mustache. It looks like her mouth is closed and she has a mustache. And so it's just silly, right? I mean, her third stage is just silly to me. But yeah, there's no world where I would never even level her, right? This is not gonna happen. It's so over the top, it's comical. Yeah, it kind of is. Okay, let's raid somebody. I'm hoping Cairo is streaming right after. I had over 500 viewers yesterday, and literally right after I ended my stream, Cairo started streaming Lostbelt 6. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, right? And he had a fun stream. He had, you know, different opinions on everything, so it was really cool and everything. But okay, he is streaming. We'll raid Cairo. But yeah, he literally, I swear he dodged me, man. He fucking avoided me, because right after I ended, like, boom, he started it up. But yeah, okay, we'll go raid Cairo. He's playing Lostbelt 6, and yeah, go pick his brain about it. Thank you guys, and we will be at this again tomorrow. I guess we can do some bonus streams tomorrow if we want to as well after FGO.